Me penana mnyano.
I'm very okay.
Now, if you must have no pesa drone, like, is there anybody that said say on pesa drone?
Ebimu yes say on pedrowi. But drawn a bar reality no. Sanko na no mo fefe dem say na a dream. Nti reality ni sha say drone on them no. Omo pupu dia.
But on bet now no mo catch you say.
Omo puse ya.
Omo bet no mo catch you. Omo say enwa no mo pe. Meaning intia sometimes you want to jump the gun. I don't think there's a single Chelsea fan.
I start here then intermo.
I say who now start here. Me baby na me say o say only production. Productions me no one production.
Oma ekoni say anwa program no.
Anye program.
Anti misrawo. Me e do starting in term dem pa cho.
Me man kan cho da.
Fa kwahye to.
Di minim nipa akoka say oh yes obi so Pedro no. Pras. O sa so me metimi baby no. O say
Andy Akambi.
Bandi bet na o say
Fatilu Akambi.
Andy bet
na de me production on more.
Na make us
I heard them discussing
but at least Andy ne Gabi me no nyina no. Me tie wo just a couple of minutes ago. They were emphatic.
Say
and production na bia how dey kebi ontimi ka ha no e won from em no waka. And also no bebo. And I don't even know where the issue is coming from because Chelsea players na nkasa no. Before see about koye draw. They said it in fact Robert Sanchez ekaye say ono ope PSG because then there will be no excuses. Say monsieur no nya de na ball na PSG for say na ewiabo. Okay. We mo na nyimre ana we mo be na nyimre. Iti yemo. Me put na me see me sam pen wo camp now. Eno mutia yi na de over Stamford Bridge. So the game is going to go on 10 days. Don't worry, cry. Nyame aduma your team coming kwa there. Don't be perturbed. Game me ebo.
Popular you say na ho abeni.
Don't worry, game me ebo.
Robert Sanchez.
Eduru wa.
Eso no so PSG.
Na oni na man she no. Oni ni bo she no. Any I was ready as a Grimsby we na wo fa wo dia sire bi. But oni ni bo she no.
I'm very much okay this morning.
I say ni there.
Drawy.
Say ya. Yes, ya ni apel. You didn't see what did you say ya?
The Chelsea players no.
David to was.
Mate.
You didn't say what did you say ya? Aye dey confidence be baso. Aye dey because basa dey with me show mo. You be pia wan ko to edge na no. Ubo se be duru no. Na ya catch mo say la minya ma no. On face the Makukrea test nti munya to was here. On face Kukrea test ni we are. You can make all the noise you want to make. Relax. You understand?
Aso hunting bizarre.
Laminyama. Hey, onu ko pamele di kan hunting o mu na afidi
e. Chelsea ni bia na first Laminyama.
Basa for suit bia first team ko pama.
Minti se Barcelona
because baby out no.
Me Barca ni. Me Barca ni. Minti se supporters ni bi kan ko pama.
Onya Barca ni.
Me Barcelona.
Unya Barca for crampo. Omde ai unya Messi ya be prediction en fa. Nto omo mpel. Man United o legend coaches me ni asa pamo man pe na ze enche bi beduru amorim so. Ti really montina mu di na monwem ho. Which enra. It happened in Monaco. Now I don't know if you agree. UEFA for no any especially clubs no.
I think so.
Who say before say Champions League new formats the ban. No am so mo pe big games be bring. Now I want you to say big games be bring ni be mo muska. Big games be bring will increase of course TV deals for them to get more money and a bit more sell also the stars. Gate proceeds ebe kosho and then the competitiveness of the Champions League be sa kosho. They have it.
Yeah. Your games show.
Yeah. Because which, if you scan through, even before we go to the specific teams, no, meaning say one reporter in recent times had said say a person about Paris Saint-Germain, and you are focusing too much on Chelsea. Barca's president has said it, and also he wants to play Paris Saint-Germain, and then after the draw, Nasser Al-Khelaifi was asked, he was Barca a great team. If one reporter wants to play them, he does too. And Barca won last season. They felt saying, "Come on, Champions League final now." enka nia Paris Saint-Germain for the internal in committee fan. So we are going to see that. Which there is one game that even a lot of people are not talking about. Which Barca will go away to St. James Park and Newcastle. And you may or the northeast of England.
Yeah, match.
Okay. Maybe a match, Papa. The atmosphere and everything around the game. It is going to be interesting, especially for your neutrals. Meaning say Anya Shekrano. Barca be say Newcastle will make it easy for them. And you know, I want to see how Barca will match up to Newcastle's physicality at St. James Park. And managing a process again, no Anya Barca home. Make go St. James Park. Which Kevin De Bruyne will go to Napoli and come and play against Manchester City.
Crowd intimidate Barcelona. Yeah, Barca for no. Crowd intimidate.
No problem.
Yeah, called Dalu. So they were almost
Dalu club
very vociferous.
And
the tie against Lavin, yes,
Dalu
no intimidate Barca for.
Dalu for
yeah, Barcelona for crowd David.
Dalu for the young match you could break by 2 hours and by a Kujare by some show. Some Dalu for Omun team. And your team is a Barca one. Bruno Lage. Bruno Lage what time English Premier League ya bonnetis are wolves. You know Bobo USA. You could jarry by almost in Super 20 and question them, you jarry by the sorry 2-3 hours. And by some and you can share the mogos. It don't be Benfica. Benfica is not much. Rich, like Gabby was telling you, UEFA for say they don't think that any club will be able to do what Chelsea have done. And so we made me a kind of big thing. It was Chelsea's COO, Chief Operating Officer, Jason Gannon, on the Kwaji Award in favor of Chelsea Football Club as the only club away winning your menu. I think, say, Madrid maybe will not dream of winning the Conference League. Madrid will not dream of winning the Europa League. But once you are there, no, Chelsea have made sure they do what is right and then they've won all of those competitions. Then now, Rich, a course come up. We'll go through all the games for you, starting with defending champions in the group phase. Gabi has explained what the stages is going to look like. Michelle, it was pot on 9 teams and a room. And in each pot, what will happen is that each team enya 2 teams from each pot. It will for one team, will 2 from all the pots. Now, be 8 matches. 8 matches, over 4 away, 4 home. No abonesa. Now, you boy ya. And yet in a league phase, all those say in unim teams are no Messiano, and yet all play and also when you're in the league phase, it is our teams are no Messiano. Number of points are Benyano. Baby, I over to a table no so order between first to 8 automatic qualification to the round of 16. Then between the 9th position to the 24th position, then at that point, on what we call the playoffs. 8 never qualify out to the 16 will come and play more than for a place in the quarter-final. Then the last 8 will play for a semi-final and then a final. So there wouldn't be any draws again, except say you better draw for home and away, and then their country be or the same city, and their London clubs, the Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea. When they are qualified, and they will know when the dates they will play those games to regulate traffic. And it's very, very interesting for UEFA for which now. It started with Paris Saint-Germain. That's where I want to start from. Me personal graphic way from Bleacher. Bleacher for a representation of Obiaka. And I'm the best driver edging him. And I'm actually
of football as usual. From the EPL, La Liga, Serie A. In fact, in common doors to baby, need not be free money. Abenano pay and son ye our fisam. Ebra Yatana Sena edit the weekend edition of the Guitar Passwords at the Ebremo. Yamama team na Yadamasi for choosing in FM over the others. Na in fact Gabi the foreigner and the Costa and the metal combo no matanasi. And Jomodia Kwaman in Nafi yet in Samno at the Abre T. The other yard say Obako a social media and so that is a YouTube. Now I am part of the show. Oko YouTuber, boy in Shat TV, a shame song. Nessa also know the show a phone message. I can't but Uya. As I don't be there down, I'm so. And it just say all subscribe it. Anytime Biano, it's not Nessa also know say National Passport team no yatena se yɛde agodem nsɛm ɛnso ɛde bɛnti from now kɔpem sɛ dumienu bɛbɔ 3 solid hours agodem nsɛm ko a ɛna yɛde ɛba na week 3 of the EPL ɛsan toa so the early kickoff ɛyɛ Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge amo any Fulham ɛna ɛbɔ a saa game no 11:30 ya yɛbɛka wasɛm Manchester United mu wie ya na yɛnso yɛtra Old Trafford na yɛabɔ ɛyɛ Burnley sɛdeɛ yɛbɛsi ahyɛ ɔmo nɛ na ɔmbɛdwane ana meyɛ mayi na wosiri ana wosiri Ubo Fulham.
Kwabra seven akes.
Ubo Fulham.
Yeah, bo Fulham.
Electric off nso.
You see, I need to pay for. Utipen so na kwakubo. Bali ni Manchester United. Ready agopo.
Na yami admo china Brighton and the Man City, of course, Liverpool and the Arsenal. What a game. And also yebedi sound common La Liga, Real Madrid and ne Omo Mallorca. Na ochina Real Vallecano atenesi atwen eye Barcelona Sian so Napoli Cagliari Inter Udine any the other games in na no yatenesi yebeka wansem awo show no so of course Bundesliga our Germany also no Augsburg any Bayern Munich and na abebo enemu na yate say Chelsea player Alphonse Nicolas Jackson he said here we go abrante no wanya adjoine eye Bayern Munich na on loan and abrante ne kobo 1 year at the ama Bayern the details are more at the beba Anthony so Real I'm sorry Manchester United a player and abrante kofa and the buy no ball no krenzo ntimi mo and also obakwa kobo Real Betis baka kobo loan kra kakra na yesi ne move to Real Betis names ade no den kakra at the ama abrante na and also yebeka masem awo show no so Mohamed Salah say afi EPL no or kadi atru bia say Arsenal na abeje ade asi amo ena so enti ene by way of amonene nsam ye ba fia ye be said in common kakra otuado 24 months kwada odishia a child na Mali yamia do next week no and so ye be tete ho kakra na he campaign nsam Henry Asante Juma or say your destiny ekuta ene ase betimi qualify for the World Cup and Kumasa Sante Kotokonsuno elections which national supporters elections no and ye na chairman solo and na yatuaba adia yin yebe ono so bendie no betima ye ade ama Kumase Asante Koto in terms of other supporters and so eko stadium na and also abedi san komono awo show no so in Sempi the champion of champions anyame admo china eba so awo baby ene bra baby ene coasters and Kumase Krobia Asante Kroko ebo no and so yebedi san komono awo show no so this and many more and yatena weekend edition of Instagram Guitar Passport yedi Abraham Gabi the foreigner and Andy Costa good morning
Fabina good morning
before I want to say
oh nyame adom as usual ye holding
okay now what did come kakra my first time for bridge
oh I Chelsea bobo there now world champions there bobo there your question say bibi na besi na bi abodro na say be lusu pa there din
Anze unim team papa nti ye yikura onyanyi nti afi na abebo ye de we de bon ho street bon ho famai double click street famai na ye nye adwuma
grounds work na grounds effeta
for
Fulham
okay
oh my bibi akama
no problem
grounds very very feta
no problem and na ye no ntwim no bebre because no ye penentama kwatenati akwhehye ye first 11 and you know the ye nche ho kula ye kwhehye ye first 11
enkom
Tessia Santman, Auntie Adi Atumini, na Yakon Farmers, na Yadi update Nedia Banti, what the other so call YouTube. On YouTube, Nhyira TV. Nhyira TV, our YouTube, Sweat Martini. Makato Saya subscribe anytime, Bia. Video be ready now on some at Miaka and Saturday Mortis War, and T. Yabedi Jumaka sign. Na another yes, I'm your no bomunti, Yadia, Yanyaka, Windia San Yako, Aka, Grofoni, the Natas, Yadia Sosinator, and Etimi Ayakama at the Amateur Bobo Combara, the Atene, Oko friendly Ghana, Martis Bebre, Eto Janano Pay, Yesi, and also so at the Amanaja, one with the way Niamana SC Echo, the Atansa, Messasa from Itaras Ria, and that Criminals Bocono, one more hours on Tramia Sama Sasolo, Etimitimum, Anuya Gema, another Etota, our Taras Ria Lete, and Sweatina Firma AC Milan, Echo also one Tramianua, woman Antimanta Brantani Dean, and the Captain America, Christian Pulisic. And your grandson Ruby live to 6 and so the Bakwaka and Tramianua and told Jeremiah SC I am Milan Bobo and Matesa Ebasubonia woman Cormo Eddie Seni now for Parama Casio woman Tarata Alanta Ayabagamo and Eddie Seni now for Assassin Napoli and the Caglari Catio woman given it to Matende me Pato Pisa and AS Roman Eddie Seni and your Matisa Beto Dane and Tinada saying and Commander Esitia Genua Betnefe woman Juve and the best enough for Torino and some Aten Fiorentina Bobo Kono na woni msa Fiorentina me pato Tarek Lamptey yesi wonu mu wiarasa enti be hu se Tarek Lamptey esia kan edi ama Fiorentina Bobo kompato dia aba ayesa Inter Milan womu ene udinese ane de besia ne ansana asasi Lazio womu enso ene Haras Bologna womu game na tima twende enti anu ya Matesa etodwa Itaransiria anope meketre edi ama but elsewhere German Bundesliga no ada St. Pauli, woman soon Tramino, I'm a hamburger Elvi, woman Antimante, and the Matisa air training, T.A.D. Hoffian, one better from Anton Frankfurt, and the Disserina Fame, RB Leipzig Bobocono, and the Hedenium, woman given it to Matrene, Wabricono Tessus Tugat, and the men's so 5, Mepatoman, Borussia Monten, Gladbach Crone Disseni, Veda Bremen, and the Bino Follower Coulson, and Sana Osberg Bobocono, out and Bayern Munich Nafe, woman who given it to Matrene, na Etanada, Dasa Forsberg, woman Monso 5, and a decent enough for Borussia, Dortmund Bobocono, woman Union Berlin at the Sene, FC Cologne, woman Freiburg, and the Urban team, and the Matisa, Etota, our German Bundesliga, and now pen me catch a kakra at the Amanao, Meko friendly and Nafe, Medin Komakakra, LCD Longs Bobocono, and now the Matis start the Brassois, I was so Montramian Sam, I'm a start the Brassois, woman at Mubako, and then Matisa Etota Lowent, woman in Limetopo, Eddie Besser now for Nont, and so Anne OC Ojao, woman given it to me at Trende, Wabrakona Tessa Dulu, and so at Nafe, woman PSA, and Eddie Bessene, at Channel Friendly Ano, Adas Angus, woman study Rene, Eddie Besser now for Le Havre, and so all this in his game at Matrene, AS Monaco, and the Strobok, and Eddie Bessene, now for Paris Sapsi, woman Mets given at Matrene, and so Olympic Lyon, woman so an Olympic Dumase, given at Matrene, where Matisa, a total of friendly Anna, and I'll pay your boy today at the amount.
Okay, yan free France, na yan toss na fe yan first stories be MT for na e show so. Na mame fantuma nim say okola Liga no weekend we matches e ba so Spanish La Liga no match week 3. Na dia ten say Andra Friday yan team from say Elche. Wo mtena fi e Estadio Martinez Valero. Wo mu she 2 Levante team no. Wo mu Antimante enwachi okwa Estadio di Mestalla Andra Valencia. E o fi o mo so shemiansa ama Getafe team no. Wo mu so Antimante na dia ten say Andra Valencia game e ba so no. E gini ni Abrante na fe Mukta Diakati ene share first goal enwachi Arnold Danjuma e the second goal e so ansana Abrante first Hugo Duro e third goal e Tima je from se Valencia Tiano Valencia o fie wo mo win trainer Alitia Getafe na enwachi no dia ten say ene Saturday matches ne beto so e La Liga num na dia ten say ene about 3 o'clock pm Deportivo Alaves e beto fi Estadio Mendizoloza wo ene Atletico Madrid ene ebo enwachi Real Oviedo e o fie nyame adoma ene about 5 o'clock pm wo ene Real anase team from say Real Sociedad enable na fe Girona atena wa Stadio Municipal de Montelivi na omne Sevilla game abaso san game 5:30 pm afe enwagino mame fantom nim say about 7:30 pm Real Madrid e Santiago Bernabeu wo ebo team from say Mallorca na Madrid game abaso no manager fe say Xabi Alonso wakasa de won sembeba nimom de tesi nyame adon a watching Sunday matches are eba so La Liga no your team from Celta de Vigo womo tenafi Abanca de Balados about 3 o'clock p.m. womo bo Villarreal and watch Real Betis about tenafi Estadio de La Catuja womo bo team from Athletic Club de Bilbao 5 o'clock p.m. na Gentia Real Betis team no omo bo fie Estadio de La Catuja on say naturally team ya from Real Betis womo stadium Estadio Benito Villamarin nemo Mikas and redevelopment egusu akwaso Villamarin intino the tense Real Betis team this season womo bo home matches Estadio de La Catuja Sevilla nyame aduma wakina wom ani Athletic Club de Bilbao enable and wachi Espanyol betena fie RCDE Stadium and also Estadio Conella de Llobregat wom bo Osasuna 5:30 p.m. na fe about 7:30 p.m. Rayo Vallecano wom atena fie Campo de Football de Vallecas na omone FC Barcelona game abaso eti way matches are abaso match week 3 Spanish La Liga numa and ano pay the update emetie for you show so afa quickly ye free Spain na ye toaso England na over Premier League match week 3 and abaso na the test match week 3 matches are abaso Premier League nyame aduma and na chance na the test and no pay she early kickoff your team you from say Chelsea gom etnafi Stamford Bridge gom any Fulham and boy 11:30 am no pay and Southampton abaso and what your Manchester United nyame aduma about 2 o'clock pima gom etnafi Old Trafford gom team from say Burnley your Sunderland Stadium of Light gom about Brentford after Tottenham Hotspur betnafi Tottenham Hotspur Stadium gom any team from say Bournemouth enable Saturday comes in 2 o'clock pm mama fan to monim say your team you from say Wolverhampton Wanderers gom so able Everton and also 2 pm now for about 4:30 pm Leeds United at Nafio Ellen Road now omni Newcastle United game abaso Nyankopon ya duma watching Sunday about 1 o'clock pm Brighton and Hove Albion gom at Nafio American Express Community Stadium gom about the Sky Blues of Manchester City now for Nottingham Forest at Nafio City Ground Stadium now omni West Ham United game abaso and when you may come say ochina about 3:30 pm Liverpool Anfield gom any Arsenal enable now a big game anima two teams say two teams no they say go be able to match Premier League title e dey sin na so na Yakupon ya duma Liverpool any Arsenal game Everton no dey me say can say center referee ebe Chris Kavanagh and watch video assistant referee Michael Salisbury now for assistant video assistant referee Sian Massey Ellis and way match officials nyame aduma ochina go mu kodi Liverpool any Arsenal game no afi ochebo about 6 o'clock pm mama front one say Aston Villa Everton fie Villa Park omne Crystal Palace enable eti way matches are ebas Premier League nima and now pay yere won some emetie for nyina show no so na nyame aduma American ya to nim say anopai Chelsea Stamford Bridge wom any Fulham enable na Andra manager friend say Enzo Maresca ono any the Blues of Chelsea manager ne pre-match press conference ebaso na Enzo Maresca say fatu obi nim say wom ya we pass ko pama emobi nemo mogidie pass last week omobi afantia West Ham United no eno makoye edma Chelsea nti ogidie pass wom find solutions ko pama emobi nemo no problem yentie Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca.
For sure 100%, and I will say again we are much better team with Cole, no doubt, but when Cole is not in the game we need to find different solution. Last week we found different solution and hopefully we can find tomorrow again different solution. They are solid, they are well organized, they play nice football, they are very strong, and it's not random that they are doing well. Last year was record of points in Premier League, I think.
Okay, nti we Enzo Maresca Chelsea manager and out in Kase or Casano. Now my man front him say about 2 o'clock p.m. Old Trafford. Your Manchester United almost on a Burnley and elbow. Now United boss opinion fans Ruben Amorim. Now Amorim say omubo Grimsy game ni no e kan de enko resign. Nemo mogidi pa say de no ma ku. Na e che say utie ensema Manchester United manager na kan. Bibia betima si say results no anchanyi na enoma kwose de ekoya dia onhwa manager no. We get Manchester United kwam yentie United manager Ruben Amorim.
I speak these things, guys. To be really honest with you guys, every time that we have in the future one defeat like that, I'm going to be like that. I'm going to say sometimes I hate my players, sometimes I love my players, sometimes I want to defend my players. I think I cannot. This is my way of doing things. and I'm going to be like that. And I felt that in that moment I was so frustrated and annoying. And I know, again, that you have a lot of experienced people talking about the way I should perform with the media, to be more constant, to be more calm. I'm not going to be like that. So I'm trying to accept that, and I'm going to be who I am. And that's why I have the passion that I have. And in that moment, I was really upset.
Okay, the Red Devils of Manchester United manager fans Ruben Amorim and our team manager and Kase Okase Nano Peno. Yede won some MTF for El Shono so Yankupo Yadma or China the Sky Blues of Man City. Wamukwawe El Brighton and Hove Albion. Na Man City boss Pep Guardiola. Na Guardiola Andra manager no press conference. Na Guardiola say watatin some piece and go for say doubted team. Je from say Manchester City nemom wajidi pass this season City. Women a good season. Yente the Sky Blues of Man City. One manager first Pep Guardiola. Okay, Guardiola voice in your radio the Antoas way. Na yanko yami aduma watching a big game baso El Anfield. Na Liverpool Fiona Arsenal enable and slot manager and my team from say Liverpool. Na wakasa was Arsenal. One more very good team. Yente and slot.
No, the most simple answer to that is a lot, because we face a very strong team, and that was already really good last season, and I think I've improved their squad a lot during the summer. So and if you then look at all the quality they have, but especially one thing that stands out in the season till now, and what stands out in a negative way for us, is that we've conceded, if I include the Bilbao game, 4 set pieces, and of course, as we all know, that's one of their strengths, not the strength, but one.
Well, okay, and also Kobaka to the Nanka Uyene Yama. Where we are. Okay, yeah, Mammy Kobe anywhere. And now, young Trazer Akanafe, Yamfa update to be Alfana, so now we tell you, our radio sona, wako, YouTube, and we Insure TV, our YouTube handle, not what any, na Etimaya come and pato, the 10 year, a branch on the hurricane, a player at my Bayamic Bobo Konda, and now all game ball, say Akobas and now with Miss Yakai, at my Bayan Bobo Konda, not just war ball, a 100 game. Since I was born 99 matches at the Mabayan Bobo Kono, and the Uchampa 99 matches, 91 goals, 26 assists, and I'm going for a player to say 99 matches, 91 goals, 26 assists. And I'm a hurricane, and I born 100 gamer. I'm a reporter at Tota. I would demand a Sanwanda, and a Zavi Simon Susania, and my Tottenham Hospital Bobo Kono, Chelsea, Eda, Yanyan Sabrantano, Esa Sabrantan, and Massemir was say, one in Tottenham Hospital, Thomas Frank Shano was a Hannah and Sebre, a Hannah one of Papa, because was only quote in Casa was Saha, and I had the right place. Also, no Zavi Simon, Ebano Babesiakai, Essence a Tottenham team, no, a team, a kama, and offense with determination, or person or no, a very disciplined player, offense or boy in all capacity. Now for Tottenham Hospital Bokono, Etimi Kodan Nampo, so made to imagine Krua, what also to me Ajibi, Jesse number 7, and I granted a quackose at the Ama, the new Tottenham Hospital, me pato boys, and the Etreno, Jesse number 7, Savino, and a big way to the Kama, and to one could use moment, and a big 10 Honma, Benkuma Faso, Neja, or Moy the Honaniama, at my Kama, at the moment, and Madame Pato, Meko Basso, no more test, Wabo Pitino, our the new Spotify Kamnoon, and to President and Casawala Porta, and Ojani quote, and Baba in some Natas Wadaya, oh, Parkin so, and the Yebisas open na day, Hadiano, no so, Parkway, many Brabreno, sir, many UEFA Cocaso, sir, Champion League draw no, won't be some, see a bit me about Anam Catoms Anne, you bet me about Anna La Liga Fonusu Gusomo Hesa Basona, a bit Messia kind of the new Spotify Kamnoon, na Anna Yase Basona, and it's there's a Catalonia Municipal Phonicia, woman fire service Fonusu Shesai, Eddie didn't come out here, and Pastor Domina ready at so met Messia Kawa, Basa, your imagine so on the 13th, and also on the 14th, they are so much to me, Ebo came out the new Spotify Kamnoon, and to Pato, one reporter say, what does we know? What was Ampa and Sensani dear? Just say, are you ready? At as a Basona bet Messi Swakai, and no your reporter Eba, our Jumadia Suna, and non Kobaka, Mensa Akam, as a once Basa, our player, at as a reporter, Eba as a Pablo Gavi, Yasua Kwakopra, na be 2 years ago once abrante ne koye surgery etena fie taya ansa na oba back yese makwa wobre na se obi na ekotwa no sa ne den na yeyo kwabna yese kotodwe ne ho aka na akoba ne sanam baso na force afi number by the stand of it na fe so metima hwe se ebia de ne be ko ebia 2 weeks anase 3 weeks anase sen ansa no metimi ahunti ene ye reporter etodwa awa abrante na kacha na no pe no meka che kaka adi ama wanchise awodo nyina so no Nhyira your number one account radio says na men trouser aka and from na reporter mensa ensom aka I says is abasa wo gamer na anka so mobo na sa baso na game no ata so mo hwam nim no ebetodwa Vallecas I stadium ho Rayo Vallecano womani na elbow na kwabna yase basa ntimi fa supporters nko enese basa ya bibi na bom stadium ho yase ho fi pa efi ata sa do kro ho no ana La Liga for ata se dabi se stadium ni tise pa dia kobasa se omukosi akan ho a mania manso enkoyenti ene ye reporter etota ewo dumade so na no pe no yade ye wonkoba kakra enso ade adan wanti afe yanko AS Roma dia no so na yeni nkoba kakra Constantino Tsimikas a player Edman Liverpool Boboko no anopa reporter mensaka esa brante wonya edwani AS Roma na sa esa se yasi loan deal no agreement na nyaba ene oba travel na fe wakwa ni medicals no ade ma team ade AS Roma enti ano so nkoba kakra ne am the mensaka Piero Hair Campe abrante na nya sane ade ma asna ne sa 52 million euros no skata se Ebramo dantan koma bia akomasa se Arsenal baton abrante na ene team ade ban of all Kusen ebenya sales on closer chese betimi abom ye pa ene ye Piero Hair Campe reporter efia kodana kate ebani afe Manchester United player the dead Rosumus Holland and pay metimi aka atosa brante no eko SSC Napoli do nankasa dia 44 million euros ade ska Ebram nemom yasin krofona kate Manchester United say wo pa brante no loan 6 million ana teso metua ekobaze so mbeto brante ne dia na tese for the phone no womusu etimi etrampato option to buy and afe ade say we crosses no and also ababa mandatory atase say na obligation to buy at the team and the team at the SSC Napoli and also come kakra meti ewo dwumade so na no pay me bo atire ade amount Anthony a Manchester player okobo no kakra ewo rebetis obo no okobo na so ani ana rebetis for say so mo say permanent Manchester for mo say akoda mu pe no na omo bisa mo bo omo say 25 million pounds ana omo so ye san crofon be di dwan wie no mu kotre fe no mu say debi Manchester for ye bu ye ya nto akwa ne sa kwabna no de ya san koma wiewio aka tasi ya si ya buki medical time ana ya buki flight kra de amata man say anka omra Spain nanka omra me ne medicals ne fama rebetis boboko no but this for ko fi ani aso mo fra Manchester United edi release the babo ante say and some ne no mabo ante no mo rebetis for on person mo clarify ne bi so am say clarification be no say oh someone to say 50% sales on clause but enya no kre mo to say 25 million pounds and ye dey to brand enya no kre de enya no kre say ebo no ya nyuntum akoda na nkasa ni wages no odwene e woso de pa and kwabna ye otomatum ne ye dey Manchester United wo mo say da say mo ne abranta no be kasa na ni wages no wate so and as 25 million na mo pesa mo di jom no mate so someone te so dia and mo work out of ISR deal no and ye be better me patch statement am wo mo dia babo ntia na no pay ye ka tire ediama Jure and Cecil me patch on ye Brighton player Chelsea for we am ye ka to say akoda no e ba ko Strobek na kwakwa si aka ho and ye 2026 na wadwani Chelsea boboko no and no other official confirmation no enya ba say ensuso enya sign ediama Bluko for him say Chelsea for him and after team and the other Strobek ewom into otimi si aka ho ba bia emom yes Strobek nobody can call and say no baba wetimi aka ono so atimi aba abanta ne de for Kando Bunanote akoda we na manfo bebre epeno and no that Chelsea for Chelsea Xavi Simon so ma yati ane say yes Chelsea asabrante na Chelsea mudi nkomo ne time na so we dey loan due nti yente hom and Chelsea for we for Kando Bunanote me pato oba Chelsea nemom enye obligation to buy option to buy no say ekoba say Chelsea for beto yes nkofo na ka Chelsea for say one person mo to dia and eja o me de ne bema emo na fe so me ne Brighton and so atime di dwanti asuju asa ko Brighton biem ye de ne Brighton de cool top na yenya player no afe abranta ne dinade Femi Lopez Barcelona 4 player Barca 4 be ka Chelsea abranta ne bo draw 70 and I see Chelsea didn't come so on the cocoa with the 58 Nebeko. I get so was so 60 yet here Barcelona forcing 90 and a test on the 12 Brantenum but another yes Chelsea force after Branten agent Barcelona for Kata could answer on 20 and 20 but I Chelsea focus on move up yes in there and on betting conclude up to say Monday Emran and not Chelsea for whom so on the top Femi Lopez and also went to mean to Branteno and also in Komaka Etota Ewa Jumedia so another Nicola Jackson and straight to me she said the Okolon our Bayern Munich Kwabna and you 15 million euros. And you are or they cannot charge the force. One per mandatory buy. A month per option be obligatory. Sanko, we are up a Nanka test or not Brantano. But I'm not a buy and first almost set Chelsea for Yami Jackson. So obligatory to buy there or Sa Hondo Muyin film. No option. And from Ambassador, a command say a Branton, but we are not beton there. Wamakate Chelsea say 80 million euros. And on Betia, Ediama Chelsea, Bobo Quedan. And Nicola Jackson, Ghana to Swanyamba, another Branton complete here. Amateurs and the medicals were we a cat official communicate every features in Swakate at the Abana Fella, Jandro Ganato, and Attorney Chelsea, Ayabobo Queranu data, 1 second, I will show you so.
Okay, young free Chelsea and young to us now for young fast stories in the MT for your show so live on Nhyira 104.5 FM now, Jeff. The Tiana said Abdul Fattah Shaku, the Nebaso, Nimo Maminica and Shazim from Real Madrid. Now, Real Madrid, Mame Arantia Fence, and as opinion fence, Luis Figo. Now, okay, Luis Figo, now we're assistant captain. Edma Tima, you're from say FC Barcelona, Nemum, Wakobo Edma Tima from say Real Madrid. Now, after say Fiorentino Perez, what you can, Elusu presidential election 1995, Edma Ramon Mendoza, and Wachino, the attention said the year 2000 was by. Now, 2000 presidential election about Real Madrid, no, sometime no Fiorentino Perez, I win editor then time. Real Madrid president, Fence, Lorenzo Sanz, a whole and of Fiorentino Perez was started Galacticos era, Ekofa Luis Figo, Zinedine Zidane, Michael Owen, after Ronaldo Nazario de Lima, and Dennis Beckham, and I say David Beckham, Edward by Nemum, after say Real Madrid team, Omogi 2002 Champions League, and Noma SSA Jigui, Nemum Luis Figo, Wakao and Madrid, Omogi 2002 Champions League, say, why a legend, and Matima, you're from Real Madrid. Now, Luis Figo, Akasa, was here Blantia first, Kylian Mbappe, were similar to Ronaldo Nazario de Lima. Nemum comparison no uyanesa enye perfect. Was here for two of say Arantia first Kylian Mbappe no one kasa ewa ni own unique qualities. Now was here for two of say Mbappe ewa talent were fast and what you go when him say Nemum one Ronaldo woman is similar. Now was here for two of say Arantia friend say Luis Nazario de Lima Ronaldo in terms of power and what explosiveness say yen tumri come from will be anywhere another won't even find compare Brantia your friend say Ronaldo Nazario de Lima according to Figo Arantia first Kylian Mbappe and Afe Ronaldo Nazario de Lima no one say no bim nemum overall what GDA pass Brantia first Ronaldo no one anybody boy check Kylian Mbappe and no Luis Figo and the Sansen Atuga na yada so Real Madrid say Madrid o Brantia first Ferland Mendy on say okoprai na Madrid for Eman 1 month na o GDA pass nyame aduma September ya yekowura mu and Brantia first Ferland Mendy go be recover na wabano be sina kan edema Real Madrid nemum and none of report me say kan say Madrid for no e wo GDA still Brantia recovery no enko kama into on person omo extended date no edema no etie bia omo be say 2 weeks and I say 1 week e be come Brantia first Ferland Mendy go be tena bench and I say go be tena sidelines what team mo ball and from a team from say Real Madrid and you no kwa and Real Madrid Brantia first Eduardo Camavinga one so epra na Camavinga dey ono so Madrid o medical team no GDA say boy no ne recovery e ko kama nemum gomo pese o me rushing into ono so gomo the time ni bi e dey kan say Brantia je fence Eduardo Camavinga ono so go recover edema team from say Real Madrid and no e kakra free Real Madrid first year benano pay no je dey won some MT for nyina e show no so afa Mohamed Salah a player edema Liverpool na Mohamed Salah ando odin wakasa na Mohamed Salah sem fan to obi anim say woni ayala ya adwen was it this season Premier Premier League na yebo no Arsenal wo na favorite Arsenal na beji edesi omo na so na according to Mohamed Salah was here fan to them say wo hwe Arsenal team na wo ma bo mo be say 5 to 6 years ni na understanding kama wagidi e pa say Arsenal team number 1 say on betima je Premier League edesi omo na so nti Liverpool wo mo player na fa say Mohamed Salah wagidi e pa say Arsenal team omo na favorite say this season wo ma je Premier League edesi omo na so afa yanko Abdul Fattah Ishako and I was a go edema team from Leicester City na over here me kind pa November last year and I'm running offense Abdul Fattah Ishako wakonya anterior cruciate ligament ACL na otenafie 8 months 260 days gwantima mobo afama tima je from Leicester City na this season ya shase ne say I'm running offense Abdul Fattah Ishako and no match say ekoyi edemano na over here last week was a go away editia Charlton Athletic andra team from Leicester City on Leicester City etenafie King Power Stadium gomu shemienu ema team from Birmingham City gom entimante na arantie fence Abdul Fattah Ishako and one share first go edema team je from Leicester City area game no post match interview and arantie fence Abdul Fattah Ishako say enyame na ogidi ye pass no man asini nyina no wode asida emenyame yentie Ghana je arantie fence Abdul Fattah Ishako.
It's just all about the team and how we support each other, and I'm just happy, and we just look forward for after the break and we go again.
What's it like for you to be back and performing so well after your injury last season?
I'm just going to say thank you to the medical team, they do it all, and all the team and the support from the teammates, and it's just a blessing to be back like this again. And
okay, Ghana ni abrante no sinaka Animal Leicester City offense Abdul Fattah Ishako and after say what first goal and I say when he Kenya first goal Animal team from say Leicester City and I what abrante and kase okasa and now no penny they want some MT for na el show no so afa yanko Chelsea yenim say abrante offense Alejandro Garnacho waba na akase Chelsea team no woman official communique ebeba say Manchester United win Ghana offense abrante offense Alexander Garnacho and I say Alejandro Garnacho Omafano na mame fatu onim se andro manager fa ne se Enzo Maresca ne pre-match press conference ebaso no manager ne kobusa no Arati offense Alejandro Garnacho na wasi wa hunu se Arati ne nam kuba mo na won share ani ni nkomo bebre wogidi e pa se we press conference ni bia ere kwakoshi Arati a je fence Alejandro Garnacho na on na di nkomo na according to Chelsea manager fence Enzo Maresca wasi Garnacho were quite similar when Arati a je fence Jimmy Gittins na in terms of 1v1 boy no waya dia pa wogidi e pa se omo the same profile nemom waba eno be hu do ba start Atlanta first Jimmy Gittins one and bebo left wing edema Chelsea and I say Atlanta first Garnacho and bebo nemom manager no entimi answer emphatically clear say e we and bebo and I say we and bebo o say oba eno be take decision eno manager edema Chelsea first Enzo Maresca na onim say since last week Friday Andra and Atlanta first Moises Caicedo training na okwa Chelsea yase manager ni gidi pass last season womo omunya more minute anima Chelsea at the Levi Cowell and what Atlanta fans Moises Caicedo and afa ko Palmer this season one home training grounds wo gidi pass boys in abre enti e was womo mo joma home enti no de me say kan say Andro na Moises Caicedo we training anima Chelsea nemom nyame atoma enano pay game eba so ofie e de etia Fulham de me say kan say Atlanta fans Moises Caicedo game no wo start no Bobby Matima je from say Chelsea afia Atlanta first Arnold Danjuma mame fantu anim say ne transfer ne ba so mom medical bas mame Atlanta first Georges Makatazi where Georgia ni bano sinaka anima Olympic Lyon France na de me say kan say Villarreal womato Georges Makatazi 30 million euros and omotua e de ma Olympic Lyon na de me say kan say next Saturday and a boy ever fly e de free Lyon na waba Spain nyame adumo china Sunday obey medicals na fi wasan contract na official communique ama say Georgia ama brand na fan Georges Makatazi wokosina ka enema Villarreal na no pay no jade won sem MT fo nyina e o show no so afa komo de men say kan say Diego Carlos no wosina ka enema fana bache omu close enchakran ombefa abrantie fan say Diego Carlos na says Fabregas na ni abriye pa wagidi pa say this is enoma be koye enema team from say koma e wose omu team no gomo shemu kana enti de men say kan ene say abrantie fan say Diego Carlos enchakran no Bomone Fanabache for about a agreement na fe. Bon abesina ka erema tima. Je from se koma enano payere wonsem. Ema tiofo nyina e show no se live on Nhyira 104.5 FM na Premier League for no. Mami fantu onim se uko England Omodiaba na wekura Athletics omosia fantu obianim se nyame ya atoma Monday na transfer window e close na yebusa se utim anya bia no se omugina sei womoto anase omonto na tiai komuni kan fa Arsenal omo se Arsenal shebre sesi no quite busy na se Arsenal for no womo ye quite busy eno achi Aston Villa womo se womo ye busy pa e transfer market num afa Bournemouth omo ye relatively quiet as omo ye din as omo ye sana Bournemouth for no Enwachi, woman for Brentford, almost only pretty quiet. Nurse Brentford for a come say a jabia also mudi. Our transfer market in your Omadi Enwachi, your Brighton and Hove Albion, woman so a pretty calm. Your belly, almost a potential to be busy. Nurse omitme busy, yako the last day. Our transfer market in Enwachi, woman for Chelsea, Chelsea for a intense. Chelsea for a yes or more tongue. One more tone in ano, almost busy, almost intense. Our transfer market. Crystal Palace hoping to be busy. After Everton potential to be busy. Fulham getting desperate. Naza Fulham for Marco Silva. Say Omunyan 20 manager Gram say why desperate out transfer market in Menwachi. Your Leeds United almost say Womia Calmish after Liverpool watching and waiting. After Manchester City pretty settled. Naza City for the say woman to be a transfer bia was Omuyabiano. Say City for the and watch Manchester United busy. Newcastle United very complicated. And no more ding. My team from Newcastle United. After Nottingham Forest mandatory busy. And watch Sunderland quite calm. Tottenham Hotspurs we are quite calm. And watch West Ham United midden. And after Wolves middle busy. It is a city Premier League in tier red on better. Domontone Tene Noma Ebesiako transfer market in England and Nano Peno. Jade won some MTF for you show no live on Nhyira 104.5 FMT Richardo. Say you are ne dia bano.
Okay. All right. Some of you. Okay. Then I mean say my coffee. Hey. Okay. My me na my why? Me nyama kama pa. Fa me yin ma me na fi. Monko enti mo game ni early kick off on
no pay so
11:30
as usual.
Okay, so when history wo early kick off na ho
so ani ko Paris Saint-Germain kan si ya we in the first half.
That's it. All right, you enjoy the media news in 4.5 obetimi adjoine ewo YouTube Nhyira TV na do message no abane akinkan e di amade di kan ba no Ebenezer nan. I say Nhyira Passports is the best sports in Ghana, believe it or not. And now they are bringing Andy Otuo Savi Simons is lying. The deal was stopped by Paul Winstanley. Okay. Uncle Fimas Mana Mekani Binu. What the Ghana ha? A crazy or petotia. So Wabwa na a Paul Winstanley and a stop video. There's somebody I said be a more once I'm why are you refuting the story?
What if for I am more cano muncho margin?
Oh, my not then watch him.
So auntie Benunche say on cano cre. Watch an agent, only name agent, Obia Fanagin. Say, can me can have a can out to me. I said, Majuma me, so you have to trust what I say. Oh, say who they say Javi Simons went.
Yes, who say, Nenkomo could dinner me TV.
I know, I know. So,
Charles, no, and you like Robert. I don't know, say 50 man for the come on, maybe. I don't know, I don't know, on the top of it's really a convince Stanley and stop it, you know. According to reference and you to know, will be uncle baby. Now, tell me, Mammy was so said that. I do so for sauce, mommy. For sauce, mommy. Is it first second? You said this, but anyway, that's your opinion. And you are entitled to that. I respect your opinion. All right. Young Joshua, Coffee. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Now to say, I'm well. No, yeah, papa. You didn't hear me say. No, yeah, as a heat and I started bank a crack. Yeah. I'm going to say August ni benya cold. I'm actually so and so me perceive me. I'm a person with that. Oh yeah, me
because me electricity ball crab perform. Cold about electricity that perform.
But economy is
you may go ground also. Me ball by a cost border. You pay service can you pass on corner service can you never see service can. Which on a Saturday dear Anna like we do, it's mainly about discussion around the games now. But because you're all transferring saying some more, you know, you're no to be a bit shishim. I'm a team for na Bibia I come of course and early kick off El Honum. Opeso Kofi so as we run through, I'll give you reasons into I may pick certain games. That's Opeso Kokucha, what a fast with my Trona Kokucha. We use to me ask me the and I'll give it to you. And now we want all the 5 codes, you know. Together in terms of the games here occurring, which and then in the early kickoff, Chelsea play against Fulham. You see, early kickoff no, and your metal, it is real. And Anna sometimes will understand that this is a banana skin game, and there is enough empirical data back his assembly. It's only say in 2025 Chelsea lose game was Stamford Bridge. But the last team Mbappe said Chelsea was Stamford Bridge. Marco Silva Chelsea Fulham. In 2025 corner team all through Chelsea starting under Enzo Maresca and even in the last decade team at Chelsea are bread to get point from it's Fulham. And it's also a London derby. The good thing however from the side of Chelsea Football Club they say with Enzo Maresca, Chelsea have gotten the most points in all London derbies since he came. And that's good positive in that regard. But it's a huge banana skin game. Especially in a game where Chelsea are going to be without Maxman and Branch friend Cole Palmer. Yes, it happened against West Ham United. But they have to find a way against Team friend Fulham. I think, Sir Rich, Sir, only Chelsea in Commoner. Almost every Chelsea fan expects some level of consistency. And Chelsea fans don't expect some people Fulham and I can say, oh, because they early kick off into Chelsea lose. They expect that a draw against Crystal Palace, and you win against West Ham, and you Monday bar, then come on we say Chelsea at win against team friend Crystal Palace. And mind you, Rich, this has been 3 consistent back-to-back London derbies in Chelsea in opening of the season. And my personal theory be say one of the reasons in a London club suffer to win the English Premier League is because there are a lot of London derbies to play and they are very, very feisty.
Because derby nobody
naturally. And Manchester is just 1 or 2 derbies that you play. Merseyside is just 1 or 2 derbies that you play. But these ones, there are a lot of them. And when you play, you are in a lot of trouble. And now, Enzo Maresca say, Cole Palmer out of any game. And Ojini said there are 3 players last season, only the most minutes. Now, some players no. Are beginning to show signs of injuries. In fact, since Chelsea bought West Ham United, Moises Caicedo entering that at Friday. Because Chelsea don't believe he said injuries and they need to start managing him. Cole Palmer had a groin scare against Crystal Palace, and then the resurfaced whilst in pre-match against my friend West Ham United. Chelsea decided to go with a precautionary move and then drop him. According to Enzo Maresca, and she didn't recover, but they don't want to force him. And Omugini said they need to be able to build a team without Cole Palmer. And no kind. Say, whilst Cole Palmer is Chelsea's best player, our team no more a lot of quality, a lot of difficulty for the opposing defenders. No, or something you do say Chelsea hit me bomb matches without Cole Palmer, which and no inting and Chelsea pay Abrantia, your friend Javi Simons. No. Chelsea needed somebody that could deputize, but not just deputize on Kwa. Games a mobile day now, because we see board number 10 nibi. I'm at Chelsea. You may break it down low block now. Me catch you now. Personally, me are very disappointed. Say they didn't see through it. But again, Rich, they be make us say we Chelsea for. And people that usually ask me, say, I need to say they are positive about things, although me a fan of the club. Which say if I say Chelsea bomb match, now me share Chelsea loser. Trust me. Almost time me share Chelsea matches now. They will tell you that I'm the worst person to watch football with, because me are worse than the average fan. And when the fan is expressing about displeasure, I don't want to fault them. But after 30 minutes, 1 hour, me coolly off no. Then of course now I wear the cape of an analyst to try and look into the reasons. Into SABC, I want to play devil's advocate. Which Chelsea Xavi Simons agreement 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago. But they never sent an official offer. I don't know why. Why they think Chelsea never sent an official offer. And my remember another example, another reason said a thought-provoking for all of us. In getting somebody to replace Xavi Simons or Lusuno, they've gone to Brighton and Hove Albion for a certain Facundo Buonanotte, an Argentine international who has experience in the Premier League with Brighton and Hove Albion and in Leicester City as well. On your injury, on your last game time also under Roberto Di Zerbi, and was taken on loan to Brighton and Hove Albion. Which honestly and number 10 in Libya, or similar qualities as Xavi Simons, but only on the level of Xavi Simons. In terms of the creative job of a number 10, Xavi Simons is way better than him. Which only a better ball carrier with Sagal no to carry the ball through defenses when you want to break them down. And idea Xavi Simons is better in that regard than a branch here, your friend Facundo Buonanotte. But the final ball here, honestly a good tight space controller. Set young kita ball and chain favorite teams. He loves to do it, and so he's a similar profile to a branch friend Xavi Simons with a low center of gravity and with a lot of the data. And it looks like so a branch here. He works also very, very hard without the ball. Which Chelsea called Brighton. They didn't get Facundo Buonanotte on a permanent deal. The boy is coming in on a loan. And then this morning when I woke up, everywhere across, when I'm looking at things now, HM, even in front of Sports and Mundo Deportivo, say Chelsea are preparing a 60 million bid. Only say most of the outlets in Catalan and close to Barcelona reported say Barca would like to take 90 million and they had upped their offer for branch friend Fermin Lopez, which a lot of the reports that is coming from them, they say Chelsea the 60 million acquire Barca for one bedroom and they can take for branch your friend Fermin Lopez. And so what we are hearing is that Chelsea is going to send in an offer for a branch friend Fermin Lopez for 60 million, which in TFC Copa Mebane say Enzo Maresca told the sporting directors that Fermin Lopez. And yes, in Chelsea pay Xavi Simons. I'm pay Xavi Simons. My analysis of the situation is that Xavi Simons was more like we say now Chelsea team anymore. Baby and Chelsea any 2-2 players no. Now left wing any CAM and number 10. Because who got the right winger is Stavao Pedro. Who got center forward Liam Delap, Joao Pedro. Then over fifth one man, there are even excess Romeo Lavia, Enzo, Esugo, Andre Santos, excess in the middle. Over a Chilma, there are a lot of them. Benoit, Levi, Trevor, all of them a champion. Then goalkeeper CSI 2. Right back me, left back me. But it's number 10, no Chelsea me, no back up. Left wing is not Chelsea me, no back up. So it means that Chelsea needed an out and out number 11 on the left, which now they've gotten in Alejandro Garnacho. But Enzo Maresca told the sporting director, say, Barca for Ukraine a fellow Fermin Lopez. Which to the extent that the report was that Enzo Maresca has spoken to Fermin Lopez. Which Catalan boys know. And the Spanish boys, especially those who have gone through the ranks, and they've more or less imbibed the Spanish culture and Catalan way of doing things. Which Anne Ebdin said they want to leave the club. So apparently Barca would like to take the money. But finally he hasn't given the yes or no to Chelsea. So Chelsea are ready in 60 million for him. I think so because Enzo Maresca wanted Fermin Lopez and then the sporting directors wanted the number 10. They felt that with the UEFA sanctions, they won't be able to buy Xavi Simons 60 and also buy Fermin Lopez 60, making it 120, and also go on to go and balance the books. And something had to give. In giving It looks as if the sporting directors not sport that there was a good opportunity in Fakunde Bonanote, hence not putting in an offer for him and then making sure that now they can go in and bid for a branch friend Femi Lopez. Like I said, Fakunde ended the level of Javi Simons, but it's a matter of time, and we'll see if he can do it. We'll check the data now. They are all green and yellow. It tells you so a mid-level attacker as a number 10, but the potential is there. We'll see how Enzo Maresca will be able to use him inside left-hand channel. Which any game need here.
Before I go game this,
yeah.
I'm so fans, I'm more interested in our discussions now. I will show you, Raymond, Teddy Collins. I see Richardo. Xavi is a good player, but I respect the decision of our sporting directors because how can you pay almost 60 million for a player who will be a backup?
That's exactly your point. So what's the boy no
fabricate story bia.
What's the boy no say better?
Boy no say boy no tay.
And we against Casa. Against Casa.
Why didn't you say Xavi Simon's style of play it's not appropriate to fit Chelsea philosophy. That was why we didn't sign him. Period.
We go.
It's
as I said, Fakude Bonanote, it looks like it's going to come. Which any game, no, like I said, is about consistency. A better thing. Fulham is a very all-round side. A better thing, but I expect that Chelsea gets a win. It will be a very, very difficult game, but I do expect them to go on and then get him. And then move Burnley. Should it be difficult?
Sure.
It should be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
At home.
Yeah.
Against Burnley.
And you know, coach be about Old Trafford or they are training. The mindset is that Old Trafford is your fortress. The Old Trafford is Secondly, the Manchester United team now is not performing well. So let's take advantage of this Nyama meaning and frustrate you. At least a draw. And it makes the game banana skin.
Which Burnley is a newly promoted side. So I think Manchester United should be able to win.
We will, but it's very difficult.
Although say Obi will follow Burnley team like I have no, more quality. Kyle Walker is in the team, and Chelsea boy Leslie Ugochukwu is in the team now. And Onomi are one of the most highest scoring teams our championship. About this season, no, they scored a lot just in 2 games, and it looks as if that's going to go on. Which match is me, I will stay away from the Chelsea and Fulham game. No, our my slaves in there is no Chelsea Fulham game. Because again,
early kickoff.
Yes, of course, my cousin I believe that early kickoff will be boom. And again, my imagine say Chelsea matches. No, I won't let anybody bet on it because one of the things I believe in is a team be your team and better also be stay away from your team because it's easy to say team be more emotional. It's but which I think the Manchester United match, there should be goals in there. Sunderland are playing against Brentford. Another game that I think at home, Brentford last game we need 1-0, but it's not been too convincing for me. Again, this is a game I think Sunderland or draw LFE is a likely one. Spurs versus Bournemouth. These are 2 teams that play very well. Which Tottenham Hotspur got 2 games we're winning in all of them they've not conceded. Bournemouth and Andoni Areola are struggling. I mean, not struggling in the sense that of course almost against Liverpool, almost 1-0 against a team and we did red card. Next game, the reason why I think that Bournemouth will struggle is that Andoni Areola in the back line he doesn't have a lot of them, and now he's trying to see if he can stable the ship. This is a game I'm going to see either team winning and over 1.5. Either say Spurs be winning, and I say Bournemouth be winning, and I say goals be and I say this game ever caught goals in that regard for me. Which on and then later in the day at 3 also, Wolverhampton Wanderers and Everton. Everton have been good under David Moyes. Very, very stable. I expect that in this game there are goals and over 0.5 for me. And then Leeds United versus Newcastle. Newcastle have struggled in almost 2 games. They'll go away to Elland Road to go and play against team friend Leeds United. I expect that's a double chance for team your friend in Newcastle for when they go away from home. Nyamia Adoma, we'll see about that or home. For Burnley Makacham, yes, I know pay a Kobe man, you say open loan deal. Money Kobe being Kobo Bonibi. Marriage say I also understand Manchester United decision because Yema Okwa who is the backup? Manchester United have to go and look for replacements.
No.
But Rich, when you say a different when you say a player is second choice to somebody, and it's also different when you give the player the assurance say you will allow him compete with whoever it is.
Man, isn't Oko training?
No. Yes, of course, Oko training.
But
Obama opportunities know when they come, and I think that's where Kobe and Kof are coming from. Say, will they give us assurance? Yen pushy. No more assurance say pampa. When there's an opportunity and Bruno Fernandes performance in Korea, yen catch or a captain teaching try omo, and will throw the ball in to go and play. England scored about. Adam Wharton is going on to go and play. Definitely is looking at the World Cup. But I think, say again, I agree with Manchester United. There is no way for Manchester United to let Kobe go in just 48 hours with nobody in sight. But again, the boy needs certain assurances to be able to play.
Baby, I'm in Kobe and in the entourage in the yarding. I have some more in Catrino. So a Bruno now in a fight.
Yeah.
And some know me and say when Bruno is available. Yeah. Ed is a Kobe man best.
But if Bruno is not playing well,
but me too, baby, I mean,
apart from availability, must make your performance.
But me problem say so I can't answer no crana and cannot bunting because he's young.
That's what
I maybe say Buabem.
Okay, Ayana.
Me can't Ayamorim as I'm not kind of bunting.
Which people
apart from that though.
Yeah.
That's I'm not kind of.
Maybe I don't see any problem with it.
And I may say, yeah, a Branton is young.
Yeah.
So then I can.
Yeah.
England national team.
Yeah.
Obo.
Yeah.
And now Onya starting lineup.
Yeah.
Which it will affect the call-up into the national team.
Yeah.
What I say. But me feel say managing internally.
Yeah.
And I will be pay. Fine. But I mean, Kofi Minu me and Nhyira. You say Bruno is available.
Which apart from availability, okay, available. I just say, or your own prime corner say even the performance in your camera ahead of Bruno. No, Mitch. What if the performance is not good for Manchester United? We will give the boy opportunity. I know that the entourage in this out.
Yeah, realistic.
It's just
Bruno.
Then let him go on loan.
Why a backup?
Let a backup opportunity.
Na Bruno so you bog no play any.
Let us say Bruno player. But we don't play.
Na den players no mu na na bibo.
No, say, but Obi all over.
Matthias says Bruno player onye bibo.
Okay, so Matthias is saying that's coming from reality. That's what you are saying, no problem. But I think that where his entourage is coming from is a good place when it comes to Tima, your friend, Manchester United, any branch, your friend Kobe Meno. Which, if Liverpool tried the mistake they did against Bournemouth and Newcastle United, Arsenal will not give them any breathing space. Say, Obi say two no. Baba can matete. And I will say two now, Sambetitia. You won't get it. I'm very certain. You won't get Arsenal going 2-2 against you. You want any last minute goal. They manage the game perfectly well. And Arsenal have that quality to manage the game on all fronts. They are closing in on Brighton friend Piero and Capi. What it means that now Ethan and Waneri will not play as a makeshift inverted left back with Ricardo Calafiori. It means that Waneri now will go into the middle of the park as a midfield dynamo. And in terms of attacking threat, tempo controlling, and especially what you need in transitions from a much more attacking perspective, no, that's what Ethan Waneri will give you. So it's a well-balanced team that are going away to Anfield. Here, if it was 3 seasons ago, 2 seasons ago, it would have been a straight-up Liverpool win. But especially from last season, Arsenal actual momentum say, when it comes to beating the big boys and getting something from them, they know how to do it. Yes, last season, League Cup, FA Cup, Liverpool went away to the Anfield, away to the Emirates, and then forced Arsenal. But still, Arsenal are very, very confident and good travelers when they go away from home. So you go back to that first game against Manchester United, and you go papa beer greed. But it's about effectiveness. And after that, shutting up shop, making it more difficult for opponents to break you down. I think that this is a game that's going to be a very, very close one, for me. A very close one. A China game. And this is a game I think that for me, Arsenal double chance away from home. Arsenal going away to Anfield, they will come back with something in their hands in this very, very big one. I've spoken about the Tottenham Hotspur game, in terms of the English Premier League games. So, Rich, and the first game in the Spanish La Liga went on. And because of codes meeting, I followed the Elche Levante game. Levante for one reach, and one money Elche pa. If you see the stats, you'll be surprised. Yes, it's away. I thought Senna against Barcelona and Kwano Mokadumi, but it was too much over here. Valencia also won in Salmo game now, which I mentioned. Say, Atletico Madrid have done good business, bringing in Alex Baena, who is experienced in the Spanish La Liga from Spanish La Liga. Adding Abrantia Feni Giacomo Raspoderi from Napoli was a good addition to the team, adding more dynamism. But still in 2 games, El Cholo team are flattering to deceive. I don't know. Which I think say a Jumana El Cholo, too lax for him. As a pressure in so. And for years and years on, he keeps on underperforming. Especially after say winning Spanish La Liga for them, he has been underperforming. Of course, he has won the Europa League as well. And Obimeka said, baby, of far let's come Madrid free here from little to nobodies and getting them to compete at the highest level. Our Spanish La Liga, you can understand that they are buying time. But I think say you need to start performing. Which last week game you see, I didn't drink the let's go Madrid before them. And last week game was at home. I don't wonder. And then they are going away to Alaves. I think it's a double chance for them. Because of our 2 games now, I've not been confident to them and I can't stick my neck for them. Girona and Sevilla Ebebo. These are 2 teams that concede and score a lot. I see an over 1.5 and over 2.5 in there. Real Oviedo versus Real Sociedad. No, it's a good one. Real Sociedad are good travelers, but it's a game that I want to speak. Madrid should be able to win Erofie against Mallorca. Tough game, but I expect that Madrid will win. Yami Admochina, Barca will go away to Vallecano and then go on with weekend games next on. But when Madrid starts line up now again, I bet your friend Trent Alexander-Arnold in him. Militao Heights, which last week we share Rudiger Heights combination. I want us to watch Militao Heights combination. Now you can compare Yami Monday because we say what Alonso wants is Obi aggressive back with Heights. I don't know whose aggression fits Heights better. And I watch Rudiger waiting to see that again. First game there was Militao. What the papers are saying is Militao will be back with Carreras, Chimeni, Valverde, Gule now has a mainstay with team name. Mastantuano looks like he's returning. Mbappe and Vinicius Junior will be rewarded with signing performance in the last time. Mallorca, stubborn team, especially the likes of Asano with set pieces. In fact, last season, one of the teams from the low part of the Spanish La Liga not share a lot of set piece goals was Mallorca. Madrid should be careful, but I think with that defensive setup, they should be good enough in getting the job done. Barcelona don't have good news with Gavi. The injury now, Bano, is not good at all. And they are going to play against a very stubborn Vallecano team away from home. And now in the Italian Serie A, AC Milan, they went away to Lecce, and then 2 former Chelsea players, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Christian Pulisic, 2-0 for them away Italian Serie A. I think that's a very, very good one. Napoli, Abo on game. Tough one, but I expect them to win. It's not a game that's supposed to be difficult for team and friend in Napoli. Spanish La Liga also. There are a lot of games in there. Lens Ebebo against Brest, and now boss again. Of course, Paris Saint-Germain Ebeko away to Toulouse to go and play against them. It's a game that expects Paris Saint-Germain in that game. And the games there cause what German Bundesliga anymore.
Yeah, but Chelsea first level number.
Okay, yeah. We can
Sanchez in post.
Robert, okay.
Gusto Chaloba Tosin.
Gusto Aba. Okay. Any contact to about?
Na fish. It is Sanchez, Gusto.
Okay.
Chaloba Tosin.
Okay.
Cucurella, Caicedo, Enzo.
Oh, wow.
Then Estivao, João Pedro, Neto, and then Delap.
Estivao is starting.
Yeah.
And
starting again.
João Pedro beam.
Sure.
And a Delap beam. So it is the same lineup.
Yeah.
As the first one.
I'm the ball West Ham now.
There's a start first one also. Okay, Reese if we a year by first half now. Which Bacho Yenko beam. 2 center backs now.
So Sanchez in post. A trio of 3.
Yeah.
Gusto, Chaloba, then Tosin, then Cucurella, Caicedo, Enzo. And then Oko Animuana, Estevao, João Pedro, Then Pedro Neto na Delap.
Okay. So it's a 4-2-3-1. Mark Kukurea on the left, Tosin Adere Biayo, and then Trevor Chalobah over here. What it means is that last week, because of the angles problem that Chelsea faced here against Crystal Palace, Chelsea used Abrante Fred Malo Gusto as a winger. It's Opushi Malo Gusto but on the right wing. And actually, Trevor Chalobah defending the right hand channel. Tosin Adere on the ball as a CCB, then Abrante Fred Marco Correa offering the ball playing ability on the left hand side. In the middle of the park, it was Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez as the 2 DLPs. Then because Estevao Ababe Shenfi Finiti, only Abrante Fred Joao Pedro became the 2 inside 10s. Joao from the left hand side, Estevao from the right hand side, Malo Gusto keeping the weight here, and Abrante Fred Liam Delap up top here. Which one about left hand side? Pedro Neto, right? Pedro Neto was team. Then Pedro worked hard off the ball on the left hand side. Pedro will have a lot of work to do. It's on the ball becomes a 3-2-5 for Chelsea. Make sure Fulham for starting line. So I think that we can quickly go through that, and then now the coach add to jar. Then we can quickly run off now. Sure. Yeah, exactly. This is exactly how it looks like. Oh, Chelsea in Fifi because Estevao will now come inside as another 10. Malo Gusto keeps the width, and it looks as if say that's exactly how Chelsea wants to go on with almost starting line. I think that Fulham the so when I'm
yeah. Leno,
okay.
Castani, Tete, Anderson, Bassi. Oh, she said. Okay. Okay. So Leno, the Leno imposed
is imposed. Okay.
Yeah. Castan,
Timothy
Tete,
Castan.
yeah.
Okay.
Anderson, Bassi.
Okay, so the 2 center backs, Bassi, and Anderson. Yeah. Timothy Castan as a fullback. Sessegnon is part also as a fullback. Okay, Betch. Sasa Lukic will Fifi on him.
Ken Iwobi and then Nunes.
Alex Iwobi. Any Abrante Freno. Rodrigo Muniz. And so any more. Which Fulham team exactly how we expected.
Solid team.
Very, very compact.
Iwobi will go ne.
Very, very compact.
Iwobi.
Or one goal.
I'll be go.
Okay. Say the job we should 2 or cancel every
Nigeria for me no more rough.
Kevin Bassi, very aggressive. Very aggressive.
The African brothers.
Yeah, 2 supporters.
Abiekuta boys.
Into match and operation there.
2-1 Fulham.
2-1 Fulham.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the same scoreline that happened the last time they came to the bridge.
I know I'm busy.
I think that one of the things that Chelsea will do is how Liam Delap beats him occupy the 2 center backs here. In the game against West Ham, or a very, very good job on the 2 West Ham center backs and pulling them away to find spaces for Brent and Estevao Willian. And I think that's how Estevao Willian ST ups our Enzo Fernandez go. He holding up play here. Estevao running and picking the ball in behind, and of course playing across the face of goal. Enzo tapping in. Liam Delap will be very integral in dealing with the 2 center because for me, very good center backs, especially from Henderson, from France, coming back to play at Crystal Palace, only Kevin Bassi. Well, 2 of the most physical players you get in the league. So Liam Delap will be very important. And again, Chelsea are set from set pieces. If they can use their set pieces again, I think they can get goals in that regard. Rich, I think we've been able to come through in terms of this weekend games. Make sure this weekend Italian Serie A more there. Parma Bebofi, Carlos Cuesta, any Atalanta, Ivan Juric Bebo. Go and watch Carlos Cuesta again. Mikel Arteta's former assistant, young, exuberant, progressive manager power. First game Nukulusu away at Uwe. I think this game will open up for him. Let's go and watch him then we'll see how things are going to go on from there. We have anywhere else we have to go. Charlie, this weekend there's a big game. The match Sunday. Much, and there's going to be Olympic Lyonnais and Marseille. Wow.
What a game. Sylvester mentioned, I remember this Trent Alexander issue.
Okay.
I would say Ayala, they really say it
that they will let him play.
It's risk.
Yes.
If Cavani is fit, maybe he might be regretting joining Real Madrid already.
It's too early.
It's too early.
It's too early.
Because say Cavani, so you're fit. Maybe Bianyena. He will always play.
Cavani can never be
fit in quality,
but he will not be fit throughout the season. I think that they'll be.
They say there's all one pen say
but they are going to be games. Xavi.
The football politics need to be a for.
okay, 100%. But there are going to be games that tactically, I think Javi Simons will need Trent Alexander-Arnold will feel. But who athletic for some survey be about Trent Alexander-Arnold and the game time no, I will team a friend of Madrid. When you be a modi, England for no come after you. Michelle and I say I'm a kind of you see from me say be a sida. Oh, Kuma they are 5 odds straight, all 5 of them. Ebumie. 2 of them were 20 plus odds. The rest were 7, 6, 5 odds, and then boom, sir. So we are starting a streak in the once we won 5 yesterday, we're expecting at least, and then some 2 will go through for us. Yeah, bumpire. It's a show. Bet responsibly, dear. But these are the codes. So team radio for our pen or paper natural. A BWDE 97FBE. Next one, a BWDE 94D4A. Next one, a BWDE 920A7. Last one, a BWDE 16A1. Which nyakeni all the Fifi Manfred, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere other place that they be no TikTok, Ubenya coats no on my bet to him show. Your bumper is already into greens and goes my midas.
Okay, let's be that's a coffee. My brain divine. Also, Richard, good morning. Please, with all due respect, I think to be on the safer side, why don't you turn Manchester United into a pig farm? Wait. Maybe baby or time me actually here.
Now you can me ana. Who say you can phone obedi wa tell go say me pa cho we I don't do this better take your mother.
My brain. You for whole Manchester United in your pig farm. Really? Yati. We will come and Chelsea for Nibia. Ombia. Oman is in Yibia. I'm for the end. Why didn't you say Richard against the you come here on Monday and say because of Chelsea he can't sleep well. Okay. All right, on this message out there, Abraham and no. Richard Bampo, I say, Richardo, you can use 1 or 2 matches to judge our players. Players a team Ben has about to bet me the banner and now Chelsea. Okay. Me sure about Miss Richard Bampo Bayer, Chelsea ni Vincent Frimpong. I say, please, the calls are too many. Can you kindly give us 2 show? He said, call the more 2 show now. Sir, I see. Okay, Miss Marcos, Empire and so banner. Also at the Remna for Yedin Commoner Atuaso at the Amamo. Dr. Ns are not done prayer. I say, Fulham 4, Chelsea 1, and also at the Abrene Anopay. Sebastian somebody kind account message no at the amount, also bet me the message na banana can kind at the amount. Richard Saudi be about Manchester United preparing for Champions. Where you go in court championship that. Yaminti Ebeka Premier League na Yabon Kama. I see you do Moses. Best Ball Show at the moment, watching you live from London. And also the Abraham Vasco. I come also sharing from Brekum. Okay, and also a show no free Lawrence Apia. I say passports and the Abraham Felix. I'm gonna say Fulham 1, Chelsea 3. Okay, I'm Sir Richard, so a Chelsea fan. Bianca. Name is about Miss Obey a Chelsea fan, but all right, Yantua a Jumedino, and so hey, is it Evanani Ebru? Viva, income as no more. Okay, all right, Yantua Jumedino, some from Shawan 4.5, Bismarck, also Empire, and so at the end, but Miss Samo, Opa don't message no a bar. You're live, our YouTube, Facebook, there, Untimin share, but YouTube na wabo Ensha TV at the Ashem Jumedino de Kobiano on Subetimi I part of it na oba be show nti ko YouTube CCI na ebo Ensha TV efa Ashem na Jumedino on so hwe bi na efa message no Eka ho see this sports extra. I say I'm champion. I go watching live from Efijase. Today they really enjoy any banter from you guys. Oh, they be saying the Biana. Any a book game ni so is there the book game anything no. Nyame aduma Monday yeba na ya proper one no. And so our show no and so esunti me enko Bismarck usu ben pa ya la ho. No so the next 30 minutes I'm fine room our amanin nsem na ewia enyakwan abefia bedisi enkomo no. Ayala, good morning.
Good morning.
I want to say
Nyame adom be very okay. You run into match day 3. Our Premier League, and there are some very, very exciting fixtures be ever up, especially when your weekend we are your co-international breakaba. Enti so who are Simbia put dealing with at the club level. Make sure you end this week well. Then you have the next 1-2 weeks to sort whatever it is before we come back. Now, Rich, in Pimpi, the weekend I bought club football and Sunday Jawako international break, I know there are a lot of goals around Europe. And I don't know why. I don't know, but that is the trend. See a koba, I know a sketch kakra. But before I I don't know whether I'm going to so Mammy some boom if you I don't know why, but that is the trend. And see, we will be interested in betting. That is one very, very good thing. Obey me at the atoll as an observation. Now, Rich, in the English Premier League, last time I catch you say, even though you have only 2 games, but out of the 20 clubs in the Premier League, Rich, only 3 of them pay, and after only 2 games, can boast of 100% record. Arsenal, Spurs, and Liverpool. Now, coincidentally, this weekend now, match day 3. Already, 2 of almost more 100% record are about to meet. Na ayana make say ebia Premier League or mass scripting or more player ayana go for nyini. How do you explain? Say you rep Premier League mu you have only 2 games. 3 clubs per NL 100% record. You are 3rd week and already 2 of the 3 clubs have a meeting so omo sure omo. These are the stories that makes the Premier League sometimes very, very interesting. Say obetimi I follow. Now, these are the Saturday games. And Masheda, I have pushed the early kickoff game to my last analysis. And people should bear with me. The reason why I did that, and I say, I knew Pepe say by the time I started my analysis, the lineups will be in. So I didn't want to bring probable 11. Abraham met me the lineup live on the show to do the analysis. So we will push that to the last one. Na yetimi at the Athena say na yabefienti quickly. Let's go. Rich. So we early kickoff review. One of the games I'm anticipating to watch the Tottenham Hotspur Bournemouth game. Now Spurs can almost 100% record to the start of the Premier League. Now, before we talk about Spurs, any Bournemouth game, Rich, Spurs, Nancy na and Kofon or form or Gianson Nam Ewe. Make the story of William. You see, William flight mu or consigning ama Tottenham Hotspur yet here no time or sign ama Chelsea this season. There are a lot of clubs are Omafa Tottenham Hotspur anu adwane, including omo North London rivals in Arsenal for Ebrechi Eze. Now, Rich, when we say Tottenham, Xavi Simons there, the media is not reporting say they've done a coup d'etat against Chelsea. So we are sitting here. So Musa. But Rich, the fact of the matter is, as at the time, Xavi Simons a flight with the permission of RB Leipzig, say Oba London, not between Chelsea and Tottenham, were be the final negotiation. No one who club a panel, no one moving on. Rich, it was Tottenham that did the business with the guy and they've gotten him. Look, me, I have one problem with Xavi Simons. And it's because I have more problem with him. People should understand because he's a La Masia boy. Rich, this guy, when he was 10 years old, come on, already 10 years, you know, our La Masia, the whole world, he was the best 10-year-old player we have seen. He left Barcelona 16 years. Okoye, Osio, Paris Saint-Germain are promising a lot of good stuff. Scout into Oko Paris. Ye kaya no musemina. Xavi Simons obeko. Okay. So 16 years he left. Oko Paris Saint-Germain, Rich, say a broken promise, say a deal. I went and say, Paris Saint-Germain or no one. Oh, who say obetimi akobo first team in them. Into obeso fear. No, monsieur, no problem. Obeso koyan see me come chrome. Mo fa be ma PSV. Then he went to PSV. Rich, when he finally went home, he played so well in Eredivisie. And a PSG say, hey, Charlie, I went to say, they're not catching and Croatia and in the contract, Paris Saint-Germain, and then PSV, no, there was a buyback clause and a Paris Saint-Germain. As a tono, triggers are crossing on turn about back. Rich Osaba Alpha and on turn RB Leipzig on loan. Okoye, super performance for Leipzig. Leipzig then made it permanent. And those Xavi Simons is only 22. Rich, wabo Barca, wabo Paris Saint-Germain, wabo PSV, wabo back to Paris Saint-Germain, wabo RB Leipzig. Then he's coming to play Tottenham Hotspur. 6 clubs. So ask yourself, how come Obiani Nwada says he is super talented, but he seems to be a traveler? Rich, this guy, issue with attitude.
Okay.
Strong one. Because I think say a 20 team them say Odibo.
Players so dey we 20 teams ah.
It is so bad say onya bimbo yembo mano onu benya issues here. And Rich, he doesn't seem to be a hard worker. On page madini. Say be at this team without the ball you are supposed to come and tackle on this.
João Felix Mudieni.
Yes, Ryan check Mudieni bi no.
Rafael ya momon famra na me.
Yes, na me mbobo no because me dey nam yade. So probably it was a thorough research from Chelsea to have doubts because maybe I don't maybe say so what the time I see Chelsea preserve Simons na it was too long in the transfer window but nothing seemed to be happening. Probably they knew, yes, the prospect is there. But, Rich, their due diligence about him, and my doubts were prolonged. But Tottenham are in a desperate situation, Rich. They are in a desperate situation. They don't see Kudus as a number 10. And they needed a number 10 in their team. Then James Maddison, Akopra, probably for the whole season, say James Maddison, I guess at the twilight end of the season, and Obeba. They went in for Gibbs White, Omenya. They went in for Ebreche Eze, Omenya. And you could understand Tottenham desperation, Kakra, in looking for their number 10. And due diligence will not be tall as Chelsea. Rich, Omutim is okay without him. Until you understand how these things work and why Tottenham probably will push little harder even in terms of Sikasem, the salary in the Tottenham will be more desperate to nail Xavi Simons than the club in front of Chelsea. So I understand. Now, Rich, in football, I can't say me. Tottenham call it hard. I share Manchester City no will be meaningless if at home they don't beat Bournemouth.
Okay.
So who it yato? Now go City. Now that now fear. Now when to me I said Bournemouth. It makes no meaning. You add Xavi Simons and this is the depth of Tottenham Hotspur attacking Rich. With Charleston, Matthias Star, Dominic Solanke, Brennan Johnson, Odobert, Kudus, Devan Kulusevski, Naoma Ade Xavi Simons. So Thomas Frank is also the team now. And so what's in the interview and in the West or Kafa Xavi Simons or say probably a man saw a Tottenham Hotspur team in the right direction. And that's there is a place in the team a man can come and fix. Washano open asem open the ball now obono. So obeba no obeti baba be ya adwuma na manedia. He makes Tottenham Hotspur more complete. And you understand Ore friend Thomas Frank. But Rich, even though Bournemouth so from last season on performance and this season the way Oma lose some players now, Rich, you still can't tell me say in this era of the Premier League one of the most respected teams as opponents are Bournemouth. And Thomas Frank, Kudus, Richarlison must be careful of the Bournemouth team, Rich. Maybe they've lost Milos Kerkic, they've lost Akani, they've lost some key players. But Rich, and no doesn't give you the license not to respect Ariola in the team now. They are a very, very stubborn side. That is Tottenham nowadays. Kudus, Johnson on the wings with Richarlison on form as a main striker. Makase Mkofobe, of course, because you are Ghanaians. You hear Kudus, but Papa Sa Rich has started the season so well. And Bono is one of the best. Tottenham used to have a lot of issues with injury, especially with Tomo Center House, but fortune seems to be smiling. Omanya consistency kakra from Kuti and Van de Ven and Obian say when they are fit, no born at 100%. They are one of the best center half pair Albania in the English Premier League with Poro and Spencer when you're the first call up in the English national team. Vicario, one of the best goalkeepers our Premier League name. Now, Rich, this is the team that they come up against. Say we Kerkic or Lucino. And some of the defenders, Mr. Zakani Moa. Which I think going forward now, this can't represent a bad team. A team with
that
is a problem. And it's American. So they've lost some key personnel and I'm a team they're weakened, even including goalkeeper Kepa. And I'm losing Kakaba Rich. No matter what, going forward, especially with Imanasin coming back, with Anto and Semenyo Traveniamo, you know say you have a problem. Because look, a weak defense in the Liverpool share. But Rich, when they came back from 2 goals down, at a point 2-2, that is what they can also do to walk. And see, if you don't find the character of Liverpool at Anfield, wow, we are almost but Rich, and we are the way we need game. No? If you don't find that Liverpool Anfield character to overcome this team, they may have weakness. Rich, their strength is always carry. Say Ubetimi any Omabo. So I'll be expecting some goals in this game. Minimum Tottenham will give us one shocking result. I don't know whether it will be in this game or after the international break, but I'll be very, very cautious and go for goals in Tottenham against your friend Bournemouth. Rich, you don't have any excuse. Manchester United. Someone also in athletics, you have maybe 4 starts. Which I'm assuming some Manchester and 4 starts to the season.
And the easy way to redeem
last 2 weeks in Colombia, say for me, I think say idea unfortunate for Manchester United. Ayo fixtures no more they starting. So we pre-season now. Rich, I am of a firm belief says that Manchester United in your belly match day 1.
And
they would have built on that.
Okay.
And come build on Sadio. And to him, young fan say Manchester United first game Summer Bonina, Rich were 4 starts. They should use Burnley, especially when after playing Burnley, you have an excuse of an international break. Or you use Burnley to say, okay, this is the start of your season, you know. But Rich, pressure on this man. Too much pressure.
Was after a game, no, you need a Grimsby for no. So no, I know I'm frustrated, and at the point, no person resign.
Rich, and the outcome is reflected in 2 of the graphics Amediaba on Obin Amorim. Listen to him here. I am going to be who I am, and that's why I have the passion that I have. So here he is speaking as Obia Onimneho. Now Ojino Woody, Rich. After this quote, he switched to this. Sometimes I want to quit.
He's frustrated.
Sometimes I want to be here for 20 years. And it tells you about Obi and Ojin Woody. But Rich, what better situation be more? I told me adrenaline. And Unim now one of the pressure on him, especially in the context of English football, is this story coming out of Kobe Mainoo. And I repeat these things. Now Sky Air report said Kobe Mainoo asked to leave Manchester United on loan. Manchester United have no intention of allowing him to go on loan. They want him to stay and fight for his place in the team. Now Rich, there are suggestions. People have said, even in the game against Musa Grimsby.
Grimsby.
Me start me team for me to meet him.
40.
Me dey hear that. Remember, you know, maybe I want to mean for no more way. Rich. People were saying, say, look, you have a certain way of playing, but you've come to Manchester. So Ujini say the materials now one and fit it into a tray back now. Rich, there are many ways to kill a cat. Switch kakra, sound, let it suit the players. Then see how you can go with it. Now, Rich, one of the suggestions is this. And so, why now you so in the 4-2-3-1 there? Then the issue of say Kobe Mainoo and your baby engineer because also competing with Bruno Fernandes probably will be a soft issue.
And that knows all the Kobe Mainoo as I'm about some kind. So tweaking the kakra.
Good.
To accommodate the boy.
Good. So you see this lineup. Then you have your goalkeeper. You have a back 4.
Simple.
Back 4 no. Look, many so say Patrick Dogu will have a problem and say I want to leave if so pre-position will look sure. Many sure. Say Managerial only Dalo mo be pre-positioner. It is there for them to fight for it. Delete Euro, Harry Maguire and the other center has no more team. They will have to fight for the 2 positions. Which what this give you and say you now will have the opportunity to play one of Casemiro or Ugarte as number 6. Then Kobe Mainoo as one of your best, brightest midfielders who is young and the future of Manchester United to have a number 8 position to play. There are some times, if a game are rich, you want to have more attackers. You can say, oh, Kobe, now some more games in me. But this game, I will need Bruno Fernandes even as my number 8 and add another number 10. What it means is that in this formation, Rich, Kobe Mainoo will have more playing time. And I don't know whether sometimes coaches must be so rigid with almost structure where they can solve a certain problem with some tweaks. Rich, this is okay. That is very much okay. Look, even if Benjamin Sesko you push one of Cunha, you bring Ahmad. Like this give you the opportunity to have more offensive players and reshuffle them the way you want to. rather than having an additional defender. Then any more for no, a lot of flexibility in terms of Omunya playing time. But Rich, you know say Amorim, and he is going to come with this in a game. He's going to come with delete Euro Shaw, then Dogu there with Dalo, Casemiro Fernandez, Imromo Matias Cunha, then Sesko. Probably maybe after the international break, which will also be after the transfer window has closed. No, Rich, maybe after your placing now, one that's okay. Your real transfer window now, probably you will go back to what we are suggesting. But the enemy say, and that will be too short for him to go back and say, so we are expecting him to go in with this, which the expectation of the football world and the fans and the people Old Trafford and they say it is this team you are going to beat.
Then Ayala, you see, so game beer, open so the tricky formation. This is
it should be the easiest game
because this is Burnley over Old Trafford.
Yes,
at least what they are trying the first half. Just try it first half. The beer feedback. Amadi Okwano. What do you mean track back?
So no, you're different
because it's not a defender.
And two born a wing back.
And
so I share one. Or born a wing back now. There are sometimes or you are not getting into offensive position. Because you need to defend and go you reach one of the most difficult positions to play a wing back. So corner so we a defender, so we a wingo, unimo. You are staying between being a defender and being an attacker.
And we are saying on the ball is chest. So
now baby.
On my back pass, I know they are moving.
It's not easy. But whether Amorim, whether problem, whether toxic, Manchester United must beat Burnley today. Rich, somebody to me I say Burnley, yeah. And then someone else say probably we are seeing it from far from where CCIA won. Rich, Newcastle Collies and Matisse Oriah Fred Eddie Howe Eka say the start of the game is going to be very, very important for us. And I all refer to Lisa. I invested so much in good players. Now Ellen Road there Oko will be ope because the stadium is full of emotions and we will need to use that emotions this weekend. But before we zoom into our game, Rich, they've also made a certain step, which for me probably a what domino effect on other issues are on what to resolve. Issue be na make once and for omo share YouTube in share TV now, I think that they've seen the issue I'm going to talk about. But for more radio, Rich, team here friend Newcastle finally enya striker. And enye Obia says Stuttgart Abrantia your friend Nick Watmardi. This guy, Rich, Bayern Munich had the 3 bids and they called Stuttgart. All of them were rejected because of Moses Kanisha. And now I know say, so Uko Germany, Rich, even in the German national team, he is the first striker to be called by Julian Nagelsmann. One day we will come and talk about his story. And it is a shocking story that has happened, Rich, even less than 1 year. But Rich, the emphasis and they say, with Nick coming in for 60 million plus 4 million add-ons, we are talking about pounds, so you can convert it into euros. Rich, I think that this gives room for the Ishak issue to be solved. Because Makase, they are not Newcastle Air Trainer, they say, if they are able to get a replacement, Rich, it will be total madness. So one replacement for Obi say Isak. Now Opesoko, Mesika Eba is in the region of 120 and allow him to stay and waste. It doesn't make any sense. Especially with Newcastle Rich, even with the Arabian money, because of financial rules, England, they are still suffering on their books. So when you weigh around 65, Rich, the 120, 130, Nothing 65. The film they are carrying for somehow. Then look how you go on with Otimo. Send was he has come. Rich and then Tia and say, Abantia for the Jolinton, Epra, when you're growing. So we are expecting Ramsey to play. Then of course, a year Anthony Gordon could do red card, and you know also Ntimi Embo. So Usula and Ebe started as the center forward for Tima. You're finding Newcastle with Ramsey said Makano. Ebe Rem for Jolinton. Their candidate, we are expecting it to be the same. Ishia Tima. You're finding Liverpool. The only thing that stands against Newcastle game way, and they said they are going away. And Rich, Leeds United is one of the traditional teams in the Premier League. So Alan Road, now almost supporters since I saw the day. Now Enyoma because they are enjoying inspiration from supporters now. Rich, it can be very, very difficult for you. But I think these are some of the games Newcastle are good at. Especially under Eddie Howe, any or more Arabian investors. So a double chance for Newcastle and probably an over 1.5 game that will complete the Saturday games. You know, Ochina. Rich, there are some interesting games. One of them is the Villa Crystal Palace game. A game be as a Seno Chameleon Taribi Unai at home against Oliver Glasner. Rich, the only thing I am a game with for me predict say Aston Villa a 55% chance the Europe midweek in a Crystal Palace boy. You know?
Come on, Brett.
Yes, and they are not used to that. And your team at Europe, and see a new experience among the players, you know. And so we are 1-0 of you, and we come on 0-0 away, and we qualification. No, it has been a tight game for them, and they've played all their best players within that 2 weeks now about Europe. No, I think say another game. No, Ekoma Villa Fonica Krebi. Look, West Ham G2 against Chelsea, and they are unfortunate to go to Nottingham Forest in their next game. I think Nottingham Forest will beat them again. Yes, I think Nottingham Forest will beat them. Rich, the last time I see to call Brighton home, Hokobo was our stadium, you know. Rich, they were beaten 2-1. Now, City under the two Peps, in here reaction after their 2-1 with Tottenham. And Rich, they must find solutions. Since always City team number, they have a lot of good players, but Rich, so what the two lineups are Pep Ediabo season so far, he still doesn't know his first 11. Brighton beat me how I dream debut. I'm telling you, Rich. Rich, it's going to be a difficult game for City. Very, very difficult. These games has always produced goals. I think it's already the last 2 times on Maba. They are producing goals, 3 goals. And see, the caveat here and say, you are almost in Pempe, almost to be rich. Almost that's City. So they will at least go for double chance City because OG City team needy. Rich, they are trying to come back to see what City end of this season on the ball. But they are sure say in games like Brighton and Hove Albion, goals will come from both teams. And see, Mr. based on baby Awujina, so what does you City there? Because look, the last time I City boy, you know, first game no boy, you know, Omo Bernardo Silva. Second game, they changed Bernardo Silva and played Ryan Cherky. Second half, and a purpose why a mistake. Oh yeah, the captain when the team he brought Bernardo Silva. That is the reason why in this third game, they expect to say Bernardo Silva will start with Reinders and Nico Gonzalez and Fifi or Doku Bob Haaland. The next year, there's no problem with it. Which, maybe dear, I will tell to Omwa, Omakasa look, and you miss it 2 games. And it's a City in Chile, say, this is them this season. I wait, especially game where it's on your home game. away game, no. I will not worry myself whether City is going to beat Brighton or not. But I will look at the two teams and say, oh, these are two attacking teams that will cough out goals in a 90 minutes game. Eddie, I'm a team in Misika, about 2 goals. So, not my head, I think this will be my last but one. Because my guys, we are then I do the Chelsea one. Then we are beating me a favor. And same be break with the Koroko elections and the Rich, big game. And medical who say the Liverpool against Arsenal a big game, a league table. It is either one is going to lose near 100% record. Number I continue Rich and I say Babu Munina. On draw. Next 100% record no Abu Munina. And that is what we are expecting CBC. Rich. There is a big issue with Liverpool, how they will line up Ochina. And it starts from this video. Rich, it starts from here. Now, Gavin Betch is back. And it's a Liverpool team, Rich, he is the only known, though and yet conventional DM in the team. And it's all Bapeno. Obejini no masisabo 10 years. Then Rich Liverpool akoto for vet big vet ebano dienti oditu mu se ombo bare na obeba Liverpool and say aside nane sika sambe no Rich they also promise him number 10 ya odia enti now Liverpool omu number 6 omu number 10. They seem to be untouchable, especially for big games. Unless they are Liverpool Carabao Cup, FA Cup game, so Monyema Home. But in the Premier League, in big games, Rich, Liverpool 6, Liverpool 10. In Gavinbet and Firebet, untouchable. But Rich, Liverpool bought only 3 midfielders. So what it means is that say 2 untouchable between Szoboszlai and McAllister, only one can play. Rich, but could pay bit me about. Nancy and McAllister everywhere. And when they were going away to Newcastle, so go and sort your family issues into one book game in the Bimpo.
And so was like a boy.
And so was a boy and so bobo too.
He plays so well.
Now, Rich, beyond Mantiamabobo Mudi. That is the reason why I have yellow to want to leave because also when you are bimbo. And I see the Euro under 21 already England so he thinks he's had to speak. Curtis Jones is always there because Rich say probia manaba be shema manabe oh me mama be jumana so he's around. Now Rich, that is the issue with Liverpool. You go to Arsenal and Oriya Feno Arteta can be in this video, Rich. Or say games kesiye bit say the ochoromba bono. Very important to him. Now games are Rich a fair momentum audible league, you know. Now say ultimate book games we are na osha a convince you say ultimate. It's one of the boys, you know, they are ready for game. Be say, Rich, and your Liverpool go on a issue with where about when by when you're available. Arsenal so be. Arsenal problem, then they say, Enra, doing Mikel Arteta interview, no, or see Bukayo Saka, they say no, he will be out for some weeks. Enra, Martin Odegaard are yet training. Or see Odegaard be training and no who say Odegaard tries to be say or to game no obetimi abobi. They are not going to risk him so on timia. But so to me, everybody so can say oh bibia ko so obetimi abobi dia. They will see whether he is available. Rich. So coach ekasasa e just abrant rombo. Enti what it means is that Rich Mikel Merino then steps in Odegaard position, you know. Then without Bukayo Saka in praying you bring in Madueke or a Hornum. This is the Arsenal team. There's also an issue with Ben White. So Julian Timber, Ebebo. Rich, this Arsenal team is okay. And for Omwa, no, as I almost assassinate to too many players, no. Rich, the depth that Mikel Arteta wanted to build, no. Emilio, going into a crucial game or Anfield against Liverpool and losing two of your best players in Bukayo Saka and your Banti friend Martin Odegaard. Now, without them, Rich, do you look at this team and say a week?
No.
A week.
This is a solid team.
A week. And we are talking about team where players we say Trossard on the bench, Eze at your bench, Nwaneri at your bench. It tells you how good that team will be. Arsenal post your training video. Gabriel Jesus has started training. Rich, imagine a time where Arsenal will get Jesus, Havertz, Odegaard, Saka, Remunina available in one team. That is the depth of our squad now. One. That is the reason why even Mohamed Salah will tell you, look, yes, Arsenal team there and how dynamic we here, and almost squad in depth now. Yeah, Jiri say they are a pure contenders, and that's only a favorite.
The only problem I'm aware with the Arsenal team, wingers, you know, Martinelli and then Madueke. Omunina seems Martinelli good on the ball, but the final decision problematic.
Yes,
Madueke is the same. I don't know Jabona. I feel no vicinity as the ball na Benachi. Apart from that, this Arsenal team super.
Marriage. Sa uwo Calafiori na uwo Timber na sa wose o ni wo two direct wingers omo ye direct omo nya ball no person omo ko manim space ni ade etunim. Be careful how you follow them with a play no say they be at Liverpool and you see one of our best strength which is omo counter attack say mo be stay mo are rigid. Very, very rigid defenders are almost pace or much mean why ya one day any BBR. Some to me, yes, they leave the wing play and wait to these players. Whilst you make for the I'm clear enough to say man for man. I'm going to Liverpool for the change in our ball. You can't tell me Zubimendi, Declan Rice, Mikel Moreno can't stand toe to toe with Liverpool midfielders. No, that is the midfield you are talking about. Gravenberch, whether McAllister or someone slide with vets. I set you up for a very, very good game.
And your name, Murphy.
Now, Rich. Conor Bradley, Oman is almost like a but now he's back. Even in that game, he came on. Until Waba fixing until Liverpool need problem with Omachile and Omo back line. Now, so the medical can so her line up here. A happy and a problem war because Gakpo, Ikechike, Salah there. He said, Omo no one. Omo until Shaq Bebano. I bet my pre-do there. She said, "I no more rich." Achepa this impression about Liverpool and Arsenal games. And is it the Premier League? It's either the Premier League and I say Liverpool. Say, Rich, this game has always produced goals. Okay, Andre R7, more time. Arsenal Liverpool 4-4B. We've had games, blockbuster games between Arsenal and Liverpool. I think, say, Rich, where's baby?
Okay.
Where's baby? It's too early to predict. Say, Obiadu the pick where you're better than way. It's too early. But I think, say, still the main cut off Arsenal Liverpool has always been a game that gives you the goals. Now, Ubetimi are predicting on. Rich, before I met National. Now say Chelsea lineup near then.
Chelsea lineup.
Let me watch it from here.
Yeah, me kind of amana.
No, you're fine. Come back 30 seconds. Okay, so Sanchez Ewopomu.
Sure.
Malo Gusto Cucurella.
Yeah, back three of Gusto, Chaloba, Tosin, and then
Basada is Cucurella.
Yeah, Cucurella.
So then it makes it a back four.
So Caicedo, Enzo, Estevao, João Pedro, Neto, Delap.
Okay. Then this is similar to our last game in Anambra. This is very, very similar to Omone West Ham. No? A league kick-off games today, I don't want some kidding. And I think if I heard Fifi right, now or come say against Marco Silva, you don't get the stats now. Omunya against Graham Potter. No. Silva is more difficult coach than Graham Potter. And it's our first 20-25 minutes been a chess ball against West Ham. Rich, they shouldn't have the same thing against Fulham. They shouldn't. Okay. So Omunya understands the Fulham first goal. Rich, this Fulham team and Marco Silva, and now I'm 5. And they will not allow you to bully your goalkeeper with corners. No, I'm West Ham 5. No. But I think Chelsea must build some momentum before the international break. I'm going to be a game with you and a game being on me. I shall answer on international break. And there's one thing I am seeing, Rich. It seems to see the issue of Gatins in Estivao, which of those young wingers in the Chelsea team in anticipation of Garnacho Bebano so competition, you know. I think Estivao is winning Sadiano CCI, and without Kopama, Rich, the coach wants to play the two strikers in João Pedro and Dilap. And that is how Enoma ABC I'm expecting Chelsea to do well in this game, you know. Rich. And then Saturday, of course, we will sit down with some Osby for young Confonti. Monsieur,
I Real Madrid my candidate. Kuchopana Madrid.
Madrid will win. Madrid will win.
Bacano Barcelona. Ochina. We are Ochina.
You ever show with our international break now?
Okay.
Those two games shouldn't be difficult for team and friend of us. I mean, so I never fight. And then Saturday the Uchu tie up a bet to what also Chubby. Saturday dear. And one if games in our and I will take it. We take green. I want to take it now. And I bet womb. It's a say 4 course Pagina as of fire on your BW DF 6F 5 4A. That's the first one. Second one A BW DF 88599. The next one A BW DF 96471. Then the last one A BW DF 9D F5F. Until a 4 calls now. What me alpha? You can screenshot it now whilst you watch it. And I say Oko Besmakosu Bempana say Akosi _ Ayala Ewo Exa, and I'll come Facebook page and Nina unsa ebitimi aka. So course we before Saturday na ofana nyina de aye nyoma.
Okay. Yemrefie na yemfa fisem no ento am so Lawrence appear say that Gatins guy I'm not impressed at all. So any Muhammad say mo koto say kan na mo sister na no na moto no. Okay.
Most system million, 65 craft.
No, the bank.
Okay.
Nanya boy, how many matches do you have?
Most says I got to get in sister better than bank.
And now you choose more Garnacho.
Garnacho the Ayala.
Garnacho the next thank you Tom 8.
But the way I feel
now same being here.
The way I feel you move Garnacho.
Oh, Anyashe. Yen ya to home for mom. And no kind of
because
now if you have to talk getting 60. Now but talk Garnacho, improve Garnacho. And I'm ready now. Yam fan start here from Kumasi, Asante Kotogo national elections. Kotogo supporters no elections na no sutimi ba so. In fact, for 2 years ni na Kotogo need national chairman. De bia e beto na asa no court ni adia se de abrewa enso ayipuma no kwam. Ama finally na no ada abato no eba so kama. National supporters election chairmanship no. Na before number 2 abano na yinmi say omo me eligible omo akonya so betimi ato abani bi no was 9604. ɔmo ɛnana ɔmo ɛwɔ akonya no tumi no sɛ ɔmo nso betumi ɛto aba no bi na yɛkɔto aba no wie nyinaa no ɔhwɛ the vote cast na ɛyɛ 3,782 out of the 9,604 no ɔmo ɛna ɛkɔto aba na ɛsɛ representing around 39%. Ɛna ɔmo nso to ɛyɛ aba no na ne anim sɛ na nipa mienu ɛna na ɛpra akonya no yɛwura ɔbɛnsɛkyerɛ at the regional level na wɔdi dwuma pɛn ɛde ama ɛyɛ kuma asasa no kɔ na afi chairman solo ɔno nso at the point ɔbɛyɛ management member ɛde ama ɛyɛ kuma se krɔbea asante kotoko ɔmo mienu ɛna na ɛpra akonya no yɛto aba no wie na no out of the 3,782 na ɛkɔto aba no emu 727 representing 19% ɛna ɛto de ma yɛwura ɔbɛnsɛkyerɛ ɛna chairman ofosuwale chairman solo ɛnso epuli 3,055 representing ɛyɛ 81% ɛnso ɛwɔ ɛyɛ the total ɛyɛ vote cast no ɛnso ɛwɔ hɔ na yɛto aba no wie no ɛna nipa dodo na ɛka sɛ nyame no kure ni ɔhwɛ ɛyɛ abatoɔ no a kɔtɔkɔ supporters kɔtɔ ya na ɛkyerɛ sɛ nipa dodo na afiu sɛ chairman solo ɛwɔ bibi ɛwɔ no mu a ɔmo ma no chance a ɔno nso as a national chairman ɛde ma ayɛ bobuko no ɔno nso betumi ɛde ne expertise ne bibi a ɔwɔ no aba into bear na afi ɔno de abɛboa ama kumasa sara konso no bibia atimi akonkan enso ɛde ama ɔmo then another concerns amanfo rezi ɛyɛ the number na ɛno nso kɔto aba no because 9,604 na emu 3,782 ɛna kɔto ya ɛhyɛ sɛ supporters no nipa dodoɔ na no enso entimi ankɔto ɛyɛ aba no na yɛto aba no wie yɛ no ɛna IMC chairman Nana Pinkra say abato no wato awie na the attention na no should be on Kumase Asante Kotoko so enkankoya ebetimi akonanim
me di say and abato ya twentwen so almost in few mienu no and nyame adom yetimi awie na yenya yetimi elect chairman the supporters front na eya kotoko na adi nkunim Asante Kotoko na adi nkunim enya Solomon ofosuwa na adi nkunim ye de obia endi gugu ye ju obia tum na de mede besre solo ni se tesi ayi ni so obedi anim no onni kan enka afani nyina amu ebusua bia akonwa to de prayer entichemu wom ye wi a akoyemu mienu pei wonka mo hombom ni ehwe se ne ebesi edi apagya Kotoko bobokuo eno na ewo se ya ade a eda wani so
okay enti IMC chairman Nhyira Nana Pinkra enso koma odi atu dwabra ye to abano ewie no ena yabobi ede amamona chairman so no na ye to abade man no as a national chairman adema ayekumase Asante Kotoko no ono nso enkoma odi tu dwa no ebi enina ento aso
Chama kasachi fabulous edika no yeda onyankopon ase na efiri ho a yada Asante mawura ase Kotoko no ayo ono ane dia Kotoko yi yewura dia ana wose ne nananom odi amaye se yene ni nyina nkamom na yenye sabro ya yato aba mame se membeda achitafo nyina no enye posudie ayo som enti sabro ya yato aba wi yo to aba na mame do anto aba mame ye na o support me ye na on support me ye besere Kotoko na adi nkudim enye chairman solo na adi nkudim Kotoko ena adi nkudim okko a edayenim no eso me bonto na maniso ade hu ni se enipa emko stadium dwuma kase a ewose ye ekwan a ye befa so a Kotoko na bede ne ho na pressure ye de commercial no so ate ekwan a ye befa so a yebetimi age Africa Cup ede amayewura ene me botaye se ebetimi abamu a eja chairman solasem busuani nyina yasem
okay eti chairman solo enso sam no and uti openina ase niema miensa pa ena dana koma so se as the national chairman edema kuma asase no kono obetimi aye number 1 eni se Kotoko fans a mo stadium enkohwe Kotoko matches no obetimi anya fans na mo stadium ɛne ɛna ni so ade hunu baako deɛ ɛtɔ so mmienu ɛyɛ pitch ne so result na ɛbɛba no because a result ni kɔ yia ɛbɛma anytime biara no kɔtɔkɔ kooka ni na no ɛbɛtumi afi hɔ ɛna deɛ atwa toɔ ɛwɔ n'ani so ade hunu no ɛne sɛ kɔtɔkɔ ɛbɛde ne ho na ɛnyɛ sɛ anytime biara kɔtɔkɔ ɛka no ani ɛkɔma nhyia ne yɛkɔpɛ sika ɛne ade wɔ sɛ ɛdu time a kɔtɔkɔ na kasa bɛde ne ho na wobɛnya ne sika de ayɛ ne nneɛma na agya ɔpem so ɔsɛ tu nso no wobɛnya n'asomdie na ɔde atena ɛma nhyia no wabu ɛyɛ asantema nti ɛno ne nneɛma mmiɛnsa a ɛda n'anim as the new national chairman ɛde ɛma ɛyɛ Kumase Asante kɔtɔkɔ nti ni wei ne nneɛma a ɔbɛhwɛ so wobɛtumi ayɛ ɛde ama kɔtɔkɔ ayala menhyɛ asɛm mfamfiri hɔ ɛm sɛ chairman Solo na ankasa awɔ n'asɛm na ɔkan no asɛte tone no ɛde ama yɛn 1 supporters ɔmuntimi nkɔ stadium 2 ɛyɛ sɛ kɔtɔkɔ bɛde ne ho na ɛnkɔyɛ sɛ da biara yɛkɔma nhyia akɔpɛ sika 3 park ne so resort ɛne Africa ɔmukɔ yi ɔmɛtumi anya good result na aboama ekuo no ɛtumi akɔ ɛyɛ nkan
Rich kɔtɔkɔ election wei nsɛm bebree wɔ mu and set the tone say you be discussing one big aspect of
election no
kotoko
okay
na yet me generalizing to all the clubs network Ghana hano in terms of supporters and so omo chefa omo betimi dia boa clubs ama omo tumpom ndi edikan Rich, since our IMC led by Nana Pinkabayan, for me, one of our biggest achievements how our Omafa election was so are rebranded Kotoko supporters.
With the Fabu census, no?
Yes. They've rebranded Kotoko supporters now. And me can rebranding now. What I want to say is through the IMC initiative say yen change Kotoko supporters election from the na nim mother body circles abatuo no na yen restructure no to say supporters are omu contributing on Fabu census platform no and I be recognize omu as supporters of the club. Na omu be eligible omu ho kwan ato aba ade yi omu supporters Rich what that means and say number 1 enei se wo be say wo ye Kotoko supporter na ye recognize you as Kotoko supporter then you need to be a contributing person to the club and yes sebi ye no. In the schemes of things of Kotoko, officially, you are not recognized. Number 2, Rich, say, in your penny, Chairman Solo, on your circus chairman, or your Kotoko supporters chairman, and your circus assembly now, because on the Fabu census platform, Kumapim for her. Kotoko faithfuls for her. Any Kotoko group biya or mati biya, including among any groups singing, any even among joining groups, they are all part of Fabu census platform now. And today, Kotoko supporters platform are recognized by only contributors. And number 2, it has moved from circles, it is now a larger and a bigger platform for every Kotoko supporter. To access that is easy. Unya say, Okako join the circus, Akope circus number. Unya say, Unobe Kasano do on the WhatsApp platforms. No. If you want to be recognized as Kotoko supporter, just go on the Fabu census, make your plan. Choose the category a bit so now also about a member. So for me, Rich, this is one of the biggest legacies and an African led IMC no at the Amakotoko. Now, Rich, before I go to the Chairman Solo and the supporters no person no, let me say this. Say Fabu Census platform no. Say the kind Kotoko supporters leadership. Any IMC no rich. It me a grow sa platform no. From the eligible voters of 9,604. Now rich in the coming years. Yet me because numbers now have reached 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. Rich, do you know the next thing this Fabu Census platform can do? Then the Kotoko supporters can write to Nhyira and say, Opemiso, in deciding omu be lead Kotoko as Kotoko board no. Say Ope and 4-5. We are pleading, give us 2 reps from War from Nhyira and let your supporters choose the trainer through the Fabu Census platform. That is where the Kotoko supporters must aspire to get. I also want to grow Fabu Census platform now. I contribute to the club. Any power so hard to the extent say, Rich, now when they are able to go to their traditional home,
sure.
When they want to be involved in who runs the club, and before we recognize them, say, Charlie, more contribution to the club. Sika say na Madiba club ni muntino. Ye man wakonya say, ye the 2 reps beba. Mu voting for 3 reps to become board members of the club. That is where Kotoko must get to. Because
Ode Ayala, some crowd okay. Imagine. You know, TBC Kotoko supporters around 8 million. So the Fabu Census no bear 6 million. You're registered. Abusumi be able to contribute to 1 city crowd the Kotoko. And you dance exactly. So and yes, sponsors near so to me. Yes. So the culture of socials was Spain, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Muno. Rich, it is only when this is grown, then you will be recognized as financial contribution to the club. No, a demo for Manchester to say, look, if we let's do that. Now you see, Rich, the rippling effects say Kotoko do standard now, and they say it will then inform Obia say, look. Kotoko club no. I just don't want to be a supporter. I want to be Obia. Me so me decision. I can who be near the run a club no. Me wa kwenya say me to my board member. I will run a club dey mama. Every 3 years, every 4 years, you wa kwenya to change them. If they give say direction nobody kono and yes I no promise you based on campaign message in there. Look, Rich, adia bakwa ebetimi revive Kotoko supporters is when they start to have a say in the club and not just brabehebo. So they must grow that. Rich, they are talking me answer. Kotoko chairman, supporters chairman. Ujumedie kesiye is to mobilize supporters to the stadium. And so medi Kotoko konechi. That is your biggest, about 80% of your job. Now, Argentina Kotoko supporters mobilization abe a problem. They are in research and organize supports. You need to be able to organize Kotoko supporters to follow the team. Rich, in Pempi, it has always been money. Sika ni ho. Rich, I want Kotoko to get to a certain level. Omu babe standing as Kotoko supporters chairman. Say, oh, onyo the 4. But it will be more about the ideas of the mobilization. Send the same aspect of supporters mobilization, must come from a percentage of the Fabu Census money. I'm going to say if you no, or for basis, no, a basin go for stadium.
Yes, I don't say.
Yeah, that's kind of saying.
Untimi yenche, and Kotokona yaman senku. The one who personally would do sikaya would do. You say enough. Anunti nana pinka. And the kind Kotoko supporters leadership led by Chairman Solo should make it a policy. Say, if Kotoko really want to do what you call organized supporters and making gains in the mobilization of supporters, Rich, there is a certain percentage of the Fabu Census Sika I want to go strictly to Kotoko supporters mobilization. Now, Rich, say if they are able to solve that problem, that is why I come into what Chairman Solo was saying. Rich, who is here? say ubie Richardo group of companies are. Nasa oka say you want to find attractive brands. I would do company no ebe kwa sponsor na so kwa partner no amo musika. Rich, there's only one thing you look for. Echitai. Because a omo and a commercial omo no bediga. Anya kotokodino. Kotokodino. Some of them who bata. Etitai for now keke edi team na chine chesan. Enti so mu se maba. Omo baba to man na because that is where you enuntino. Say if you are able to mobilize the supporters well. Na kotoko edom ediachie no esa ba biemu a Rich, that is where you agree with Chairman Solo say. Now probably yeko mensha ko giska no. It will only reduce when Kotoko becomes a fun mobilized team. Supporters around it. The public interest Rich, I'm telling you, the reason why the likes of Barca, Money, Arsenal, Money, Real Madrid, they attract these big sponsors from Emirates. It is because of their fan base. The reason why Manchester United are conform when it comes to sporting wise, but commercially they are still very viable is because they are one of the biggest fan base in the world.
Do you know mileage,
That is it. And to Rich, football piano. They are attractive of sponsors, any partnership. MLB economically viable entity. How you mobilize your supporters around the team. And you by fluke say, Arsenal money man you almost say Hong Kong, you Singapore, pre-season, you go one match, you go to look. They know say it is very, very important to always galvanize your supporters. Let the commercial world see say these are my fans. If you come along, these are the people you are going to do business with.
Okay.
And Rich, it is a very, very good idea, but there is a long way to go. Yeah, dear, we've done research on why people are not going to stadium. We've presented their findings to the Kotoko people. Chairman Solo was part. Chairman Solo Lebio Humia. I say, Ayala, or research, I was all mommy biona, etimidia and yoma. We are always available. And congratulations to him, congratulations to Nana Penkramo for organizing the circles, through the medium. Great initiative. History will always remember them. So, see our part and the growth now what we must do to get where they want to get to. Rich, it is what I have explained. And the other class, can tap into this easily.
Has insurance elections,
so they must tap alongside these lines. Yes.
Kofi?
Rich, I think say when it comes to supporters, for every traditional club, you can't do away with supporters. Literally impossible. Whatever the case is, you need to make sure say we involve your supporters on everything that the club will do. And maybe it's the fact say now it looks as you say the current Kotoko management, the current Kotoko board, and also the supporters now are willing say be understanding the current trends, and a big advantage for them say when it comes to tracking the Kotoko demographics no supporters and how to get to them and marketing. When you say even in terms of Chairman Solaba, the leader of the Kotoko supporters, it's important to be surrounding home with almost of the various demographics now, because Chairman Solania Fikakra, the younger populace is important for the Kotoko base now, and important for them. In fact, Basa Social Ayala Kano, they have almost 4,500 in a sort of a general assembly. By force support and the board no you. But whilst there is the board and you help in the election of the board, you also have a general assembly from the Basa Socials. I know almost about 140,000 plus supporter base. And it's very important for Kotoko to take this process very well. Again, Rich, Adia Bakwa, Mihuni say a very important and Shady we will lose track of it is the fact that Kotoko is a very political club. Take it or leave it. Barcelona is a very political club. Every club be a traditional is hinged in a lot of divisions amongst fourth lines. But divisions can be a good strength for every club because Rich, and we can understand and agree to disagree and find solutions. And that's the issue. whilst chairman Obenseche Elusuno, it's important for reconciliation. Whatever the case, I believe say that is the first step in going forward.
Chairman Sulu.
Yeah.
Say Union or Lucy.
Yeah.
But Chenebra.
Exactly.
On also ideas.
Now, yes.
In
fact, I think say whatever. I don't think say. Obenseche. But it's important for the growth of Kotoko. Onuso onkophobia or influence. Onuso onkophobia betimidiomaba. Onuso certain ideas to get them on board to push the Kotoko brand. See, Rich, there are two forms of getting data and then of course tracking growth. There are some of them you can tell and ubetimi asum near friend are there physical ubetimi unzo okay ade ni ubetimi woni ehunu. Then the things that you can see with your eye. Kotoko hu ne fe. Look at how Kotoko's Jesse and Vili is on your money. But how to translate the digital growth of Kotoko into the physical growth. Ubetimi is okay. The people are coming to the stadium are important. We have seen several times some supporters chairman can say, oh, the team is not playing well in T. Rich, your job as a supporters leader, and you say team no mbobo yenti no, usi o mbobo yenti, omo stadium. You need to do more to let fans understand, even in terms of education. Rich, the role of a fan in the modern game is to provide support.
But if you said man,
but yes, Rich,
we have fans.
Yes, Rich. Someone said several times. Enzo Maresca at snap match press conference, I say, Chelsea players need ball short passes, Kana fans need boo or Sromo. Yes, our players need to be more born. And even at times where when we say you may be enquiring, you go on to big up the fans. Said wow. Because you are very critical. And like you said, your crew must say, economic situation is no more than bread and butter issues. Obi akwa more mazini, o shano pass, on fan funny scan Kotoko, and you don't get from it. But it's beyond the football.
Because Obi will be calling chain. Maybe for instance, Chairman Sulabe, about Transoki, but I mean could be a Mezi, for instance. Because to do an hour on doors and support the blably. I hope it be. Me no mon kokasa, minti omo reasons in the same thing stadium. Obako bet me catch as a chairman. Person boba mini case can mam case.
Which but even in advanced countries.
Easy.
Which in advanced countries. Tickets in sa UK and US no boarding. People are paying tickets, regular ticket for £200. No boarding. Yes, there were economic issues. I'm not comparing £200 to 50 cities and I say 10 cities. Yeah, community issues no peculiar to yen. Yen your mob is boarding and everything. But I'm saying that is why the supporters chairman aba. And your fans it's about letting the fan know say Mr. Yes, you may more in India, but anything else you baby you say you home. And you be a wow. Ebi are saying say, oop, you be wow on a car. Ebi say. But you see, we can also be creative around it. That's one thing I mean when you say Chroma say in solving problems. Which we can look at welfare, common welfare, obi join kori keke. But otiasie se ene asem tona. Ye beba ne moa. Ene ebia oye bibi ye wa kojano. That alone in terms of warfare can be enough. Because there are people like no or join ku and need jiso join ku ne keke. So the club may not be winning. But because I want to forward building relationship, the connects because I want Rich Kotoko can have an annual or mid-year connect. I will teach you for Kotoko. People in there, even aside that, say Obi want a business company, there can be an avenue. Some business or the two want Kotoko fancy. Oh, mini Kotoko you can do many. So let me go and purchase. All of these are positives that you can get from being part of it. You make it solely based on performance, Rich, you will not succeed. Because in football, there is no club in 8 months season, or best check the beer for 3 months straight, put that and you're possible. There is always a blip. There is always a blip. Into the Enya blip, Yanoakoda, Debbie. The club has to be able to perform. And I don't know, when the performance of the technical team is not going well, the fans will have to voice it out. But in all of that, the support of the supporters and the fans of Kotoko and the soul of the club.
Because we had situations at Kotoko was shit.
Yeah.
Or Tanaba Stadium was shit still. But still, supporters didn't cost you.
Exactly.
I mean, okay. Now, more Kasamu complaints and I'm say, oh, team didn't shit.
Exactly.
Players the ground, Bobo, Mama, any atomo, any other two cost you grant. Once they who play at it to be our coin. Yeah, 2 players never. The team is winning.
Yeah.
But still, fans didn't cost
the fans are not good.
So it means that there's a problem.
It's important, Rich. You see, one of the other things that I think that Kotoko Krabi team here, and I don't know, it's not totally in their hands. But it can be an appeal and plan, work on with the supporter base now to get that done. Rich, Ewo Krumasi, Friday night, there aren't too many places for non-outside people to go. Friday anyway. No, make us say, and you say they're enough sound, but once you be on that traditional way of chilling on a Friday night, up a ball.
Okay.
And Friday time we do they will want to go and watch the game. Or be trying to get a match. And in all of these things, when you have a strong supporter base and a strong and a united supporter fronter, they push for some of these things for you. Because it's imagine Kotoko is playing a game on a Friday night. Last season and last 2 seasons, Hearts of Folk were playing most of their games on a Friday night at the Lagos Stadium. Attendance improved massively. Massively, Lagos Stadium. Kotoko at some point in time were doing it. But there were times that there were complaints about Chroma say generator, best of floodlights, and petrol and some so Kotoko could not play under floodlights a lot. If you play under floodlights, it gets done. So all of these things are creative ways how the fans can go back to the board and go back again. Some questions. You can cover them. Which I know na okwa match or so your preaching no akofro opponent team say on send who 2 goals man. That's not your job. I don't know what you man. Provide a level ground. Now my fan be our ban who say you buy your bay, your boy rich. You see me kai obi ya. There is an immigration officer who had gone missing and had passed. It was easy to identify the suspects of that situation because apparently no one not join Kobako. And members of Sahel Kono had seen him before. Boom. Especially in Accra. Easily they could come and say, you need my say what can I say a champion? What I'm saying is that at the end of the day, the suspect will easily assessed. Okay. And it's a very, 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 very important. Yeah, Rich. Metiasie ewo yasanti memo hano. We like to do things traditionally. But Ebia Chairman Solo team, it's important that if Chairman Solo wants to do things in a traditional way, he also bring a little of Mamin Kawen is a buklon kakras for some bebeno. Now I'm mixing if you sani buklon and kambum. Because Chairman Solo will be experienced on the ground person, big organizer of people. But maybe there may be people that can sit back and say, no, your strategy in Chesan Kaka, near for Wishaha. On fan cophobis and yet Obia, you didn't win power. And there's no position. Some of them are good for organizing the base aspects. Let them be there. Bring on people like that. Let them help you galvanize the base and then deliver.
Okay. It's also now Black Stars again. The Baman there. You bet me now. You didn't come on at the FA. I mean, I'm not so. Champion of champions, no basso. The winner of the league and now the FA Cup. Yeah, Bona and so. Yeah, they are shot. The new season and so in Sediana. Oko aye abuchira EPO no mbo community shield ni enso ye die ni champion. Na me na do chira na eba so baby any Gold Stars any Kumasi Asante Kotoko na ebo na samba o na say game na Kotoko wurem no ade ba ko pene do mu team enti na family this game na ho enso nkomo.
It's going to be very, very difficult, as we know, but we are getting ready for the challenge. We are coming all out for it, so we are going to take it. The score is in the top 4, so we are coming to take our revenge. So as you know, we are getting ready for it.
Okay, and Samba O'Neill and Dongani, Commander Sonoko defender. And ahead of the game, no say game no the can or can create a bad thing because Kotoko Gold Stars and the Bomina G League no Nancy and so top 4 no Omina Sanjay and Omushia Kotoko Musa Shomo na also on the players and come on my dinner say so game we they don't mutima and say yeah Konya ko revenge Konya Gold Star for Nancy Omatana Kotoko Nije so no Omuso Kono Kwati Omti Oh, Nyamia mo china baby any na game no and so etimi. Abaso Ayala. I say revenge.
Enka, this game is supposed to be a curtain raiser.
Yeah.
But
Kotoko performance I was top for the Montino. I'm not game with the pressure about Kotoko. Say Kotoko more top phobia. And anka omo every preseason everybody champion of champion. And there will be no expectation on Kotoko. And Kasama can go and say. But somebody is talking this way because on him say the expectation of the fans and then they say Masama Kugumu when the say oh top for no. Some of us say GDBA for the season I come now. Monster to me who sign say top four was just a blip B and a Mokotomo, but yes, I'm season a Babeko. And that is why the Kotoko captain is speaking the way or not or Kasano. On the other hand, Ghost as Akwaje top four no. And with him and also with Omono pressure papa be a new so and rich AI attacker said he who is down fears no fall and can a normal circumstances no kakotokona why nya de top phone emum kwa ne kwasa ka game we osuro cause on no obi anu say no man go ye but rich it is kotoko. And no man go ye can't and intimate koswa. You have to return to winning ways. Now, warrior, and I'm saying media, and I'm saying media kind of crisis. Ye painted pictures of Kotoko womb. Ningi now was because Kotoko anyade out of four. And a pamu players be and a players because you know what do come here so come so many tremors so much and I say Rich, that is how resource affected him. Football, it is all about resource, and if you don't get it, it becomes a problem. Now, I think that match way Emma two teams now another opportunity to test their progress during preseason. Yebeka wa say top four no maye hu say baby any for no do o maje competition no but mu adwuma ye wo mu team nim, especially omu concentration in defense, because they conceded for a club like Africa, they conceded too many goals our top four nim, and these are clubs are rich almost standard Andrew Kabili. Inti say club and standard Andrew Kabili
no show sad
fie na otimi penetrate you no shower, then you must be worried going to face Kabili. And see, they need to watch how very, very compact they can be to start marking clean sheets. Rich Africa no kono strategical. They be a say games are you need to know what you want from the game and play it as such. Ubekwa way where you need to be defensively tight, compact. Ubebo fie where you need to have the perfect balance. Now why a clinical. Unya chance and no share. Unya chance and no share. Now I can't watch him. Unya chance and no share. Now I can't watch him. Now game you have to manage every time be a situation be a game and these are the things you learn from these games. And for me, Ochira will give us another opportunity to watch, and we will observe with keen interest how he took us to Africa, no?
Especially how Oma prepare almost
yes,
any Africa, no?
Maybe almost standard that could do CCA. Said the I'm not mentioning a lot of the league. And he said, league in the marathon, Rich.
Okay.
Hey, and now no man go yamago to quarter for you. You bet must start a league. Now I must start ye. Now say Liverpool call Lusu community shield. No, what were their supporters saying? Almost we need community shield now. We need EP or not. What does that tell you? It tells you say even getting razors in the no. It doesn't really count in the long haul of playing the whole season. And top four can even be a blessing in disguise for Kotoko to know what to do going into the game. No, but Rich, one thing I very, very definitely say time now you preseason. No, anytime now about top four. No, if you were not close to knowing your first 11, Rich, right now you must be close in knowing why am I your first 11. So for instance, Kotoko between Hadari and Kamara, Why need them? You must know your first choice goalkeeper. And I'm bringing this up because Yehu Kotoko having issues with first choice goalkeeper. So they must know by now. Say Samba Bebo as one of the center half. Only Ansu and Asa Zakaria and Ebo Sisia because Abulepra. They must know right now. Lord Amoni ho. Emmanuel Koteni ho. Shaibu Nebobo right hand side of Kotokana. They must know. I think say even Afuba, you know, still now on Jimin to Patrick Asiedu until left back on the Kotokoni problem. Biggest challenge, Rich Sisia Utiwe. Even as a key journalist, I will follow Kotoko. You can say name Kotoko for that you struggle.
How many household names?
They've not even gotten a combination.
The boy in Adiachini.
Are they going to play Seth Kojo any Adabo?
But now Adabo guy, solid though.
Until Omuno Mobabana. Or they are going to make some changes. Now Emmanuel entry, number 10. Baba number 10. Yes, Donzu number 10. Until why never Kotoko number 10 no? Or are they going to play only one expected DM? Say Abia sets Kojo and answer Adabo one pay and push Emmanuel entry deep as number 8. Say they be castrated from deep, then they will have the opportunity to play either Baba and answer Donzu as number 10. Rich anymore. Play me say Saka Dauda. Play me say Albert Amwa. Play me say Kwame Poku. Any Omo Makano. Omo Shisha Omo saying is Albert Amwa going to lead the lines? Omo Bomu 2 top, 2 strikers mienu. And I said, look, Kotoko should by now be getting close to the structure of Omo first 11 and Omo team. Same with team friend baby and go stars.
Okay.
And see, after our game, we want to see them make progress after the top 4. Give us hints on how our season, Omo especially Omo the room now Omo etimi astatiti or just a catching razor, but we'll be there for the performance and from the behind the scenes and no man kitty be about the 2 teams ahead of the season.
About me be lines no na musuma be chama gains 3220 A3581 A3582 A3583 but ya wadai bi aye ton oh Bokrom estate
I can say we na Chelsea for no go some about 20 minutes omo share you
me na si for
and one the way and the need if you omo free fast omo come monitor the omo pa ba ko tight team na chi 20 minutes in the game obi an shape
you know omo board
full am say just skin
are you sure
oh say
okay
just skin assist here
the Chelsea da form
oh are who ni Gideon hey
me can oh my checking on assist here some can say grounds work ni any kama grounds feta and the Chelsea da form
na go na o man won ti no mo sorry ya
no say ntina fifi gan
and o mo sorry so go na ba muti go so mo trase no ma sorry ma go aba
etie for Chelsea da form kaba ko mo ntimi ntie yeton edan asset house ewo Bokrom estate wani je ho a me ba cho friend number is here 0540112434 0540112434 eye asset house ewo Bokrom estate edna yeton me pa cho ewiase enye chairman bia na chairman fo ni bi wa mo nhyira anya chairman sa so edna enye bema bia ne bema ne de edu anwumra wotumi bo adwuma ewo mpam na de bema adwuma na kama no eye kiss condom so ma jibo na hwe na anya yi a na ahye oye kiss condom no so na so wotumi de abo adwuma ye won gel so ha ebi oba no ontimi nya wet ni ade ana so wa plan kama wotumi ade ayi adwuma no kama panti say condom de ama nya kiss no to be anom kan for seba me say bibi dra etimi diabetes untimi na infections so uta complain of pains ni ade a or liver problem bia kodokoto kemfase ba mesha okofre dimension na mapidang ne gili good pharmaceuticals santasi bio ho 0245455740 na munomo indi eye enkomo mefa me first caller hello sorry me some be lines ni dia tum betimi aba 0322083581 83582 83583. Hello.
Hello, Senior.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. I don't know what my own. I have a folk from the moment.
Debbie, online munye. Sign frefufro na mempeke because mentidi awo kan kra frefufro. Monfa from man. Hello. Yes, sir.
Kojo poku ni ato sumake.
Kojo poku.
Bakupe. Na kaka mokan se club ya kubasa tam kojo. Tsale opana ebo boss no. The team no. The bia the world. I say bia my so that and yes you be claim bia kinti and yes this is me. Oh so that them say about amiel musu. And ya no yes the bia tu ya I go support that. Come on to you. And then will be connected. Yes, I feel I original. You know, be better. Yes, support it. Don't come up with me. Right now, I'm going to let you come in. I've been out to the other. And you want to be a child here. If you have the support that, and you never pop and still additional. You don't want to be. Yes, let's support it. Don't come up with me. No, be already that. Don't do the other.
That's it. Infant scholar. Hello. Sorry. Hello. Okay. Hey, Andy. Hello. Ajuma that's it.
Ajuma master official Nhyira about. And I find out what the that can not me. Then I had a bottom. Now, get me. Other what I created the divorce. I was supposed to have measures the two form. I said, that is so confusing. Then you have it. I cannot nothing now. The management what the time. It makes them want to take people. So I'm going to talk more about it.
Okay, so yeah, that's my fan next caller. Hello,
Ricardo.
Patolo. Hey, solo, me ya se san sabre facha me.
Rich, remember only a megaphone in Abasopa. Now, me send your point to Ampamamo. Now, and okay, there. Therefore, when you send a mention empty on above Frank, you watch among the Jalo. Now, no, Chairman Solomon Posuan, Yamo, Nabaso. Supporters are almost a man, Yamo, Nabaso. Said we will get to Jan. For saying no, and I didn't win him. I have Kotokono and I didn't win him. Ying in Iron Talent, the issue I didn't want to so. And in my Wakaya, supporters, you are, you know, to the top of man. Ying in Iron Talent, you are going to chair, would you say, a bee, Kotoko supporters do go away. Not seeing in a customer, you register for business or near contribute a Makotokona. If it's in your boss, it was 4 years now. You don't know one attempt to get in argument. Yet, how much year, everything about so, Yamino show, China, your broadcast match against the BNE, your best player, you can live to an income and any players. But of course, support your top with you and so I'm not quite a Yache. Yamir more change in 1980, or more the answer for the supporters. No may baby packet, get their DNA, mention on about what mention of country.
That's a pass, Sulu. Yeah, fat for hello.
Now, some pure Ricardo.
Donkor.
I don't know if I look at I know all that.
Donkor.
Hello?
Hello? Ebony.
Champion man Ricardo.
DL.
Me da sibebre.
Yankwe.
Me da si boss. Wa ka do mo so mo to phone papa o. O mo phone nye.
Phone mu na ho kra.
O nye bla.
Me wi ahu. Me friend me godfather Kedu. On me godfather say wo wan kasa anim no.
Oh.
Me godfather de ade che de on fan we.
Yeah.
TSM ne kasa no perform so ma ho. Na omo phones no munye kra.
Sa.
Nti ye check Kedu anopai.
Yes. Or say open gas oven super park on the air.
Papa, honey.
Yes. Or say enfant kwa chen kotobi. One kwa dey. Anko sisi.
So it's your friend the system no.
Yes. The system mine. Or a fantastic ba on sana Kedu. O kuma se swame bola kese na ho police station e ti won mo a. Ni pa jo o do won mo bi police for na. Na se wi show botum kwa de betre bi sa mo se e funa Kedu wo. Ba wi show botum amisa. ahwe be chewo so entum ba se oboko bi oboko kwanja ko na kwa yiri a ko kredu o so ambara ka se na ho a ananum se mam ponchen Dasco gas filling station obi ho e won so ko bi ha wo bi ho ma ye Dasco gas filling station ho ma na e de ko aboatu to ho na wo bi ba ko o se enkwan kwanja ko bi wan kwan kwa kredu ye chia pa na wo ye ya ku ani no se onu ta se weekend yi so ba so na bobo match
Batrai.
Yes, you bump person no man ya bed e kon kan na enda me ka say enke ye but me tina se dwena wo se ejo
Madam
say de sia no o bredo do so yo so ba bia eni je ba na ho ba dey e be ton enti ye bump person ba so na fo betinya awini ende na no manya dey akon kan ayi ba jo kesu de fo na mo ba
Patro mu dina me chia sisi e
na no me za mo so na wo say me mi wi na say o form na say mo di e discuss as oh, Yana Moyano. Anna, the feeling to the nurse's point, sir. Now, but then real machine.
Yeah, coconut bar from. Move from mommy. Hello.
Regalo.
Yes, sir.
I'm going for the network in there. You phone.
I'm going for now.
I'm going for the network in there.
Oh, Kafra.
The phone from in your phone. I'm a friend the year say that. She catch them.
Patch you.
Me say emfa. What to come here they are go chance special. Emfa. Ana Chelsea you go no. When you are donating from emfa. You better win the game no. Now so focus. My me team na baso. The way I system no matter there. Move on. You two man say no. I see the way I see money the home that way one back. Yanya is fresh no. Duncan Makawaba.
Ate e dance pa na me gusu aka tie for. Say yanom da fom ka ba ko do skin cha e dini se ya ni apon
na jeta
me na sifo bo wo ma ya grounds work me catch us grounds e feta
so say gunsa
me din komo no kama
wo gunsa ka hu
ti no ani cha Monday show no so be the rough ni ko foi ye show mu say ya me ni di grambe
na say we no o man fa hwe antoso o mo de no no won so mo no
hello
Richardo.
Yes sir
Ibi aboko
emi adum to
Richardo
pato
Amin je di akanto na o de afola bi bebi o mo bia chino na wa ma min chao enyewe wai mrebe dane ya ese bi o we sit down wash town na bantima na edu so bi o we sit down o like e de obodo kuma behind store so aja the Manchester abon ya gbagu I hope they make an follow
Matthias pa
into the mrebe dane you na ba carry into the bra obi na me no nyina nko ba ko na esa bra house of folk ana pakaza ho
wasa musa no ho
Richardo
yes
Richardo house of folk am dey papa boys na ba na coach ni mu so bo na ba 2 years because we did it man yes a man lifetime contract because I was a senior man so I was a shit team no and I hope say the league na say dia obi share bia no wunyane by my second team and then they be any go stars the second team if you are there commit to free off so I say it will make sure say and go for abuomo it will say better and the be focus on it yes ya udi na me post video go Facebook to follow me and go for share pa sa ha for video no ati ko so bi e ko so ma no bi e ko so
ati pato ati pa yemfa munsiana hengo fo no go no refina de bia me kan e kwan a Premier League no mo e protect chairs no mo
bia protect obi a
say na go yi fu anfo e shiti an komaje o se Chelsea do yes go near cancel
oh Richardo say omo bono referee mu
so referee na me attack no na ga say
why
na say who can say you protect Chelsea more no
yes penifo no Premier League ne obia like omo person Chelsea say ade
Richardo so
just can't go je dia na ya pa ko go we foul
foul
the foul ne bien
oje from build up no mo build here ho na foul no
and it one year you ko share mu no age
say I was say a foul
no near ma mo de ya o Premier League no ma se hu o As you see, I never call so a Monday press conference.
Say,
I'm telling you.
Mayor
press conference.
I say Chelsea.
I am for protecting Chelsea in Kuyi.
Richard on a league, ye Mondru baby.
Media Yano Name. Kwanya mo fa so ye Chelsea matches na make am watem. Ye be press conference. Ye sha Chelsea na ma kokwasa sa na no mo ayi timbe gwa na ye mo ne ayi ayi Crystal Palace.
Crystal.
Akuya to free kick ko na utu se boy efe. Yeah, revision me ko have oba yo say hwan and